Hello and welcome to another con recap episode of So You Think You Can Fanon. I'm your host Sergio, here today with Jake and a very special guest. Guest, introduce yourself.
Guest, introduce myself? You're making me do all the work?
Yeah, we try to do as little work as possible.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate it. I'm running on like zero sleep. Hi, everybody. My name is Hot Zenny. And do I have to tell who am I exactly? No one really knows and cares who I am. But I've been, I don't even want to call myself a YouTuber. I'm just a person on YouTube who makes dumb videos. And somehow I got wrangled into this podcast / friend group. Here I am.
And you also make clothes, right?
I wouldn't say that, but I did start a little merch brand. I print t-shirts in my basement.
Hey, that's more than we
my
do.
Parents' basement. I'm proud of it, though. You got to start somewhere, right? You got to start small. Maybe one day I'll be selling them to somebody at a convention. That's a little goal.
Hell yeah. My sister I got her part of a shirt press because she got part of a shirt press as like a gift, but she didn't have the like. One? Yeah, like she can print the designs, but she didn't have like the hot press.
Oh,
so like that, yeah. So I chipped in to help get her the hot press. Because she like got married or whatever.
What a loser.
Yeah, what a loser. Am I right? But like all that they've done with it, I'm pretty sure, is like just make shirts for her husband's one friend who's like 400 pounds, which is like a nice thing to do. But they were like, we're gonna start an Etsy store. We're gonna sell stuff, and I was like, cool.
Only to 400-pound people.
Apparently, like I go over to visit, and my sister's like, we need to go to Walmart and get some 6X shirts, and I'm like, okay, you do that.
Like a dinosaur. I mean, they do. 6? I don't even think I've even seen 6X.
I don't even know.
Sale.
Yeah, I don't know if they sell those at Walmart, but if they go get them there, then they must.
I think the highest I got is 4X.
Mm-hmm.
Which is hilarious. Looks hilarious on me. Of course, I had to try one on.
Oh, for sure.
Some little skinny twig with a dress on me.
I used to hate baggy clothes, but I've become a baggy clothes connoisseur lately.
Yeah, as I start getting fatter.
Yeah.
My pants have been getting a little more baggier and baggier over the years.
That happened to me. I moved from Ohio to Florida and got a new job, as one does when you move 1,000 miles. And my new job just has a lot less like walking, and so I've just gained like 30 pounds. And like I go to the gym now, but like I was like, wow, who would have guessed that going from walking like 5 miles a day at work to walking like half a mile a day at work like affects you.
But it's so nice just sitting around.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
I spend like
sitting down
70% of my shift just reading, and it's great.
Not moving.
But also, like, maybe I should stop ordering out all the time. But it's so yummy.
I did want to preface when I was talking about like I make videos as a hobby, and I just realized that I've been making videos as a hobby before YouTube even existed.
Damn.
Like YouTube was not a thing. So if I want to age myself using like MySpace and like God, Newgrounds, eBaum's World, sites like those, if you even know what those are.
I do. My older brother,
bring back MySpace.
Used to make videos for stuff like that. I remember like early YouTube. My brother entered in the Ray William Johnson lightsaber contest.
Was it making fun of that lightsaber guy that swings it around?
No, like it was just like kinda. It was just like a YouTube contest where you had to like do the special effects for a good lightsaber and then like submit it. That's where the video of Ray William Johnson saying the N-word comes from. If that's a factor into
dropping some deep lore,
because he like ignites the lightsaber and he's like, damn, and then he just says it and then he swings it. And my brother
Everyone
entered
does.
that contest and got like pretty far into it, if I'm not mistaken. It's
That's
been like
actually really
15
cool.
years, mind you. I don't remember, but I remember him making that in our backyard and being like, wow, that's cool. Because I just didn't know how videos were made. And so my brother was like, we're going to make videos. And I was like, this is life-changing. Like, you can just do that.
It's fun. It's really hard to do, to actually keep up.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the hardest thing, is keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And like, don't fall apart and forget what you're doing.
It's the same way with podcasts, which is why the secret that I've discovered, which you can't tell anybody, is that you make Sergio do all the work and then you do nothing except
All right,
show
Sergio,
up.
what's today's topic?
Today's topic, this is why I'm given the honorary title of John Fanon.
Yeah,
because I do all the
Sergio's
work.
like the host because he does everything and we just show up.
I like that. Yeah, I like being like a guest on a podcast instead of having to host my own this time. This is nice.
Mm-hmm.
All the pressure's on you.
Yes, so today's topic is a anime convention that just happened at the Greater Columbus Convention Center in Columbus, Ohio, called Matsuricon.
Matsuricon.
Which this group is no stranger to that convention center because we used to go to OhioCon before all the controversy happened to it. So
bummer.
When I heard, yes, big bummer. And Matsuricon was always something like I definitely like knew about it because I think Caleb had told us about it, but it usually was on the same week as Colossal Texas. We didn't go, but I chose not to go to Texas this time around because that would have destroyed me physically and my wallet to go to 2 cons back to back. So yeah, we went to Matsuri.
Yeah, that was my first time going to it. I've never really heard about it up until, or at least looked into it up until last year when I watched a video review of it. Shout out Convention Reviews.
No way, I've seen that video.
Of Matsuricon. He goes to a bunch of Midwest conventions. And a little foreshadowing, me and Mew actually bumped into him at the dealer's room Sunday. But
really?
I guess we'll get to that later.
Sweet.
Yeah.
See, before you guys start talking about the convention itself, I actually have something to reveal. Sergio knows about this, but you do not. And it's that I actually have beef with you two. Right now.
I apologize.
Because I was told by Sergio out of nowhere one day, he was like, oh, I'm so excited for Matsuricon. We're going to go to Cedar Point.
And what if I told you we also went to the Kalahari as well?
Well, I know that because you went to the Belux. Did you do the water park at the Kalahari?
No, we just went for the Belux.
I was gonna say I was gonna kill you if that was the case. But I have been talking about going to Cedar Point when we're in the area for like 3 years. And no one ever tells me yes. Everyone's like, oh, I don't want to go. Oh, I don't like riding rides. Oh, I have scoliosis and it'll hurt my back. Oh, among other things. And everyone always tells me no. And so the one time I don't go to a convention in Ohio, well, I guess the second time, because I didn't go to Colossal this year either, but I had a more reasonable excuse than I just didn't go for Colossal at least. But I was like, oh boy, Sergio's gonna have so much fun at the convention, and then he's like, we're going to Cedar Point, and I was like, I hope he dies.
Pretty much almost did out of heat stroke.
How was it? Did you have fun? Did you have fun at Cedar Point, Sergio?
Yeah.
Without me?
Yeah, I had fun. I sent you pictures of how much fun we were having.
Yeah.
Evil. It's so evil.
I haven't been there since, I believe, 2013, so it's been a minute for me.
I haven't been since 18. It was my senior trip in high school for choir, and I broke my hand.
At Cedar Point?
Yeah, I fell over. And I tried to catch myself, and I fractured a knuckle, and then I told everyone I punched a wall because it was cooler than I fell over and broke my hand.
Yeah, weren't we talking about that earlier? Lame ways to go out.
Yeah, that was a lame way to break your hand.
Just trip over a little crack.
I'm actually down a knuckle permanently because of that.
God damn. How hard did you fall?
Hard enough to fracture my knuckle. So pretty hard. I just biffed it. I was like jogging and I just like fell. I like tripped and I just fell over. And I was like, well, I'll catch myself. And then I stuck out my hand and my knuckle got fractured and it hurt. And then I had to ride a 2-hour ride, like bus ride, to go back to the school just to like tell my dad, like, hey, we got to go to the ER.
By the way,
my hand is broken, I think. And he was like, damn, bummer.
Did you guys ever come up with a theme song for your podcast?
No.
Oh my god.
I've thought about it, but that requires like a lot of effort.
What about just like the We Shop channel theme?
That could work.
Now introducing the So You Think You Can Fanon podcast.
I don't know if we're legally allowed to. It's the only problem. I think Nintendo might be. Music. I think Nintendo might be a little upset about that one.
Yeah, big Nintendo. You don't want them going after you.
They'll come to my house and they'll break my Switch in half and then they'll steal my dogs.
Reggie's gonna get you.
Yeah.
Ooh, I did write down real quick some themes of our trip, and Sergio, feel free to like take one out or add your own. But a couple of themes is heat exhaustion, worms on a string, grippers, food adventures, getting split up, and the Bulgarian water heater incident.
Okay.
What?
Do those sound about right?
Okay. So I guess we could talk about the Bulgarian water heater incident because it's kind of like a pre-con into the first day, which was Thursday, the Cedar Point day. So I don't remember what it was, but I mentioned something in the group chat. And as I mentioned before on this podcast, Mew has a tendency to drop a bomb in the middle of a conversation and then never elaborate on it. And this bomb was, Sergio, that reminds me of the Bulgarian water heater incident. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And then everyone starts gaslighting me about like, oh yeah, you had to have been there, Sergio. And it gets the day of the trip, and I'm like, what is the Bulgarian water heater? Mew won't tell me. And Mew's boyfriend, Cade, gets to the park, and I'm like, Cade, what was the Bulgarian water heater incident? He goes, what are you talking? Like, he was legitimately like, what are you talking about? And then Mew tried to remind him, and he was like, I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
You know, the Bulgarian water heater incident.
But from what I can gather, yeah, in 2007, a Bulgarian guy had to install a water heater in Mew's childhood home, and apparently didn't go very well. That's all the details I have about it. Another thing that I want to point out is Mew and sunscreen.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, every 2 hours we would be stopped by our mother, Mew, and forced to apply copious amounts of sunscreen. In the first outing, she completely like almost used up one whole bottle of sunscreen because she just sprayed us down with it.
I had sunscreen in every nook and crevice.
That's what I was doing to you at Disney. Although with how fair skinned me and Sam and Sean were, I feel like that's more fair because it's like Florida sun is much worse than Ohio sun. I've come to realize.
Yeah, there was a lot of shade too, and obviously, like I usually don't ever burn. I definitely do get darker, as I realized in Florida when I take off my
Sergio took
shoes
off
for the day.
his shorts, and he was like, "Wow, my legs are way darker than they were before." And I was like, "Good thing you put on sunscreen."
Yeah.
Another form of brain rot during the Cedar Point trip was the abbreviation for Cedar Point you know, you walk by, and you're like, ah, yes, the completion point store. You know, big old C and a P. And it got worse as we went into the big merch store because they sell merch that has C and P on it in the Dr. Disrespect color scheme. And then you've
so
got
much
like
more unfortunate with the recent events.
And then they had a sign up that was like 30% off CP merch for kids and toddlers, and we're fucking
I think
dying.
You sent that to me. I think you sent that
one. Like Mew has a gatekeeper hat that has CP on the back of it.
They were so disappointed. They didn't know the CP was on there until they got it. Put it on. Somebody's like, "Hey, you know it says CP on it, right?"
Yeah, I love gatekeeping CP. You know.
Yeah, I still don't get what the big deal is with the 2 letters CP, but everyone keeps on telling me not to say it. So
we'll tell you when you're older.
Yeah, okay. You'll understand when you're older. Don't worry.
I thought it just stood for Cedar Point.
Cheese pizza.
Completion points.
Oh, before Cedar Point,
card points, I guess, if you're playing Chain of Memories.
Mew invited their overseas friend, British Dave, to join our trip with us.
Yeah, what's this with British people? I kept hearing about British people the whole trip, and it scared me.
Some British guy just hopped on a plane and came down to Ohio with us. He
is one of the founders of DokidoCon.
Founders. Is he? No, he didn't. I thought he was just like help staff there.
He was like one of like the original staff, at least, is what he said.
Oh. Is he gaslighting us, or is that true?
That I'm pretty sure that's true.
I never trust anything that comes out of a British man's mouth.
I usually trust everything they got to say.
It's like the serpent that tells all truth and the serpent that tells all lies. Like, you don't know which one you're talking to. And it depends entirely on which British accent they have.
He was the butt of many a British person joke during the con. He was a good sport about it.
Was it I'm assuming it wasn't his first time in America.
No, he's been coming here for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. They were close by me Wednesday, and we went to Shout Out the 8th Side. It's a little ramen shop / like tabletop gaming store. And since they were in the area, I invited them to go out, and we got some ramen and hung out. So shout out the ramen place. But if you're not quick, the gamers take over the entire restaurant.
Many such cases.
They will take over every table. And no one eats the food, just as only like us that eat the food there. And it's like, I told them it's weird. Every time I walk in there, the gamers just like give you like a glare, like they'll stare at you.
Do they not just have tables to play the games on?
They do, but they take it's a surprisingly busy spot. And they just take over everything. We got there just in time, and we sat down, and like 2 people like stood by our table for a minute, and we're like, oh, I think they wanted our table, so they had to sit at like a 2-person table.
There was there's a shop like that by my house growing up. That was like a malt shop. That was like a tabletop malt shop. And it was the same way where like I'd go in with my girlfriend to get like, you know, like malt shop stuff. And there'd be like a Magic the Gathering tournament going on. And so I'd just be like chilling, drinking my malt milkshake, minding my own business, and then you just get glared at because someone like wants to set up a commander table where you're sitting, but you're in the way because you're drinking a malt.
Before we even like fully got up to leave, like 2 people like claimed our tables, like, hey, and they just put their stuff on it before we even like cleaned up. It's like, hold on, gamers.
It's the gamer dibs. They never ask; they just take the dibs.
Yeah. What about Raisin Canes?
Yeah, we also got Raisin Canes, which I think is I think it was like a first for the people, a few people in our group. I've obviously had it before.
You've never had Canes? I have.
Okay.
I love Canes. I actually just built one like down in, it's like the second one in Florida, and it's like right by my work. So I'm pretty happy about it because sometimes when I go home from work, I'm like, you know what? I need some cane sauce in my bloodstream.
It wasn't bad.
The chicken is a little
yeah.
under-seasoned, but the sauce is like crack.
Is it just
and the toast?
And the toast.
The toast was like nice and not crisp. It was like it wasn't too crispy. It was like in between. It's like soft and crispy.
Mm-hmm.
But all they have is chicken.
Yep.
Or chicken.
Yep.
That's what Kenny is like. They only have chicken or chicken fingers. And I thought he was just joking. He was like, no, he's serious. It's just chicken.
It's all chicken fingers. Even the sandwich is just 3 chicken fingers on a bun.
Yeah. It was a really nice place though. At least the one we went to.
Yeah. No, it's good.
I was impressed.
If they season their chicken more, it would be like the GOAT. But unfortunately, it's just really, really good instead because they don't season their chicken nearly enough. But I mean, it's like perfect white people food for that reason because you put too much seasoning on something, they get scared.
Yeah, it'll get you. I don't know about yours, one by you, but ours had a Yowie paddle on the wall. Did you see that, Sergio?
They had a Yowie paddle on the wall.
They definitely
see every like interior of a Cane's is like
I
like
did see
exclusive for whatever like area you're in. Like
yeah, I think they had some Ohio themed stuff.
Without doxing too much of where I grew up. There's a Cane, although I think I've talked about it on the podcast. There's a Cane's in Kent, Ohio. And it's just got a bunch of references to like famous people who lived in Kent. So there's like Michael Keaton Batman stuff on the wall because he went to Kent State. There's like Devo stuff because I think one of the Devo guys is from Kent.
The guys with the red hats, right?
Yeah. You know, Whip It. Those guys. There's some National Guard medallions, which is a weird inclusion if you ask me.
Shout out National Guard.
Yeah, shout out to that one song.
I'm definitely a Caniac now.
Oh yeah.
I've been converted. They didn't have the Caniac corner. I was so mad. They didn't have like the Texas toast couch.
Dude, speaking of Caniac combos, I was talking to our good friend and host of the podcast, Matt, the other day. And he was like, I gotta go get my DoorDash. I'll be right back. I got Cane's DoorDash. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. What'd you get? And he was like, oh, I got a box combo. And then I added 2 extra pieces of chicken and an extra thing of sauce. And I was like, Matt, why didn't you get a Caniac combo? And he was like, what's that? And I was like, what do you
just ordered?
What do you mean? What's that? And he was like, I don't know what that is. And I was like, it's a 6-piece combo with 2 things of sauce. And he was like, that's not real. And I was like, hello? What do you like? That's literally what you just ordered. Like exactly. It was incredible. It was an incredible realization.
But I did have a nice time at Cedar Point.
Mm-hmm.
I did get sick.
What'd you get sick on?
I think the Millennium Force. That was my first time going on that one.
Oh, I love the Millennium Force. I haven't ridden the Millennium Force in God knows how long. I think I would probably get sick on it if I rode it now, but it's fun.
Yeah, I got like that kind of like wavy, little dizzy.
Yes.
A little wobbly on the feet.
I got after that.
I just went downhill.
I got that after I rode the Velocicoaster when the first time I went to Universal down here. But then I also found out that I had COVID, and I think that might have been part of it.
I could have did it. That definitely could have did it.
And then we went to Nebraska, and I was dying. Good times.
Well, Nebraska.
Throwback Thursday.
I think still my favorite coaster is the Maverick.
Which one's the Maverick? I feel like I remember, but I don't remember.
it's kind of, you sit in seats and the bars kind of go over your shoulders and keep you in. I don't think it does any loops, but it's I guess it's supposed to be like Western theme. It's like a Bronco trying to kick you off.
I do remember.
And you'll be going straight, and it'll just be like tip you on an angle and then send you back, and then it will like it goes into a tunnel and it stops. And
did you ride the Raptor?
We did ride the Raptor.
Did it?
That's a classic.
Does it still hurt?
It wasn't bad on me, to be honest. Maybe because I'm like a little skinny fella. It wasn't too bad.
Because every time I ride the Raptor, I feel like I'm getting whiplash.
That one just bounces my head around inside the device.
Yeah, that's like my neck hurts by the time I get off of it. I'm like, well, give it another 5 years and maybe I'll ride it again.
I did have a chance to go on the Gatekeeper. Speaking of gatekeeping, I literally got gate kept from the Gatekeeper. Were you there for that, Sergio? Or you? I don't know if you heard about it. We were trying to.
Might have.
It was at the end of the day, and they weren't messing around. They were like chop, get on the roller coaster, get off, buckle your own thing, unbuckle your own thing. They were like rushing people through, and I was being nice, and like the little gates you wait for. So I was like, the gates open to like for us to board on the roller coaster, and I was like, I'll let these people walk through towards the exit. And as soon as the last person passed, they shut the gate on me as I was trying to leave. I literally got gate kept. And then British Dave's sitting there like looking at me like, what happened? And I was like, I don't know. So he had to come around and get back in line with me.
Brutal.
That was a fun coaster. It was a really nice, like smooth one.
Yeah, it's one of the newer ones. I need to ride Steel Vengeance. I was in line for Steel Vengeance when I broke my hand, so I didn't get to ride it.
That I will not go on that one.
Oh, really?
It looks terrifying.
I love roller coasters. I'll ride anything in that park. I'm so excited for the new Top Thrill.
That's another one I will not go on.
It's have you seen any videos of the new one?
I think so.
It's scarier than the original, which is awesome.
Great. No way.
Because it goes almost up the hill and then goes backwards and goes up another hill and then goes forward and finishes the hill. It's like 3 times longer than the original. Because like the original was like a fun like one-time ride, but it's like 27 seconds long, if that.
Yeah.
But now the new one's like a minute long.
Okay. That sounds a little more worth the wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if no one knows what the Top Thrill Dragster is, look it up.
Yeah.
That is a wild coaster.
It was the biggest coaster in America for a while.
Yeah,
it just goes fast
really
as
call
hell.
It a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Too.
But I'd say the new one, I think it's called Top Thrill 2. It's just more coastery because it's longer and it's just like you actually get to like sit there and ride it for a minute instead of it just being like you go up and you go down and then it's done.
Yeah, you get whiplash and you're back out at the park. I was trying to get Sergio to go on the Iron Dragon. I think he would have liked that one. It's just a nice little easy coaster. Doesn't go up high. Doesn't do any fancy big turns or anything. But maybe next time.
Did you ride anything, Sergio?
Just we did the fucking like Chevrolet cars. I rode the gondola and we hopped on the train. But
damn.
Oh yeah, the train.
You should have ridden the cars. Are the cars still there?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh, okay.
I did that with
the Cadillacs. It was the Cadillacs.
Yeah,
I think.
the Cadillacs. Whatever they are. I
remember engine.
Logan and I whooping and hollering on that.
Yeah, and what do you call it? Also, this is another trip theme. Mew and gift shops. So you need to, if you're on a trip with Mew, you need to body block any sign that says gift shop, especially if that shop is selling plushies. Because I guess everybody was kind of feeling bad for me because I wasn't writing anything. So we entered like a shop, and then Mew was like, "Do you want a Squishmallow?" I was like, "No, I don't want a Squishmallow. Do you want a T-shirt?" I'm like, "No." Which God bless Mew's heart, but Mew will spend $700 on you if you're not careful.
Yeah, so it's like exit through the gift shop. She enters through the gift shop.
Yeah, like she refused to let me cover gas at any point during the trip. So one time when we were like for real like going to Columbus, like I made sure I got into the gas station first to get her a Red Bull. And then like she comes in and I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm getting a Red Bull. I was like, no, I'm I'm handing the money, like, I'm buying you the Red Bull. And I was like, oh, you don't have to do that. And I was like, well, I need you awake to get me to the Airbnb alive. And then she was like, that's fair.
So real.
Oh, another thing I just remembered before the trip, we did come up with like a Deadpool. So who would go out during what event during our trip? I'm trying to remember. I believe Mew was going to get like thrown off a roller coaster and bite it at Cedar Point. I think Sergio was going to get thrown off that balcony at the convention center.
Yeah, the one that's right above the stairs.
Yeah. I think I was going to fall off a hill at Hawking Hills, which I almost did. I think British Dave was going to go down like at a knife fight at Waffle House. Somebody's going to get like stabbed by a homeless man.
Did you tell them about the Waffle House magic marker system, Sergio?
We did talk about I did talk a little about the Waffle House order system, which the Waffle House that we went to was not using it. I was very disappointed.
I would riot if I didn't get to see the Waffle House magic marker method in person. There would be hell to pay.
So the Waffle House magic marker method is a specific system of
marking orders.
Marking orders using a paper plate and various ingredients.
It's a very frustrating thing to learn about because it sounds like you're like 10 minutes into the video and you're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But then you're 20 minutes into the video and your head is in your hands because you understand everything.
Okay.
Because the whole thing is like the ticket system is a little inefficient because obviously like you have if I'm a cook I have to and I'm like fuck, what am I supposed to be making? I have to look up 10 feet away at someone's chicken scratch or have to walk over there. So it's easier to just look up and see a plate with like some jelly on it and go, I have to make toast.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I did hear you talking about that. I wasn't really sure what you were exactly explaining, but okay.
Next convention you guys are all at, show them the video.
Yeah, I'll have to resend the video in our group chat. Yeah. But there's a training video that Jake, Matt, and a few others maybe watched yesterday. It's not yesterday, but a while ago, back, and it's crazy.
Is insane. It makes you feel like an insane person. Because by the end of the video, you're just like solemnly nodding. You're like, yeah, putting the jelly packet in the third position means bacon because there's 3 bacon.
What? It's like Steiner math.
It's like hobo codes, but for food.
And someone in the comments was like, as an air traffic controller, this is exactly what we do with aircraft.
My God.
I do have an idea for what the fuck is this in regards to the magic marker method, which I think I've mentioned to you, Sergio, but I do want to I want to sell you on it, and I want to know your thoughts.
All right, I guess we can just talk about that after the podcast because we need to actually get to the convention because it's been 30 minutes. We've just been talking about Cedar Point.
About it while
we do got to talk about you passing out on the giant swings, though.
Oh yeah,
so pretty, awesome.
Yeah, so we went on they went on
I did not.
Yeah, you did not. But the rest of them went on the big boat thing that swings all the way up and pendulums back and forth.
Ship thing?
Yeah.
Not the super big one that's the tiny little ball that throws you around, but the small one, right?
No, it was what's the name of it? It's
Skyfire or something?
Yeah, 2 big swings that go over 90 degrees up.
Skyfighters?
Skyfire, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, it's just a big
I can find it.
Swing set.
Yeah, so Mew passed out on it as she usually does on extreme thrill rides, and was clamped down onto Kenny's arm that it left a mark, and she was worried about it the whole trip. Every day she'd be like, "Hey Kenny, can I see your arm?" Mm-hmm. But it was just superficial. Like it didn't draw any blood. Like it was gone by like the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good.
But then she see like a random like see it's still there, and he'd be like, no, that's I'm a
There
white
we go.
guy.
I posted the picture in general. It should be popping up in a second. Of got to get a picture of the nails dug into Kenny's arms.
Yeah,
that was pretty epic. But Cedar Point would go again.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully it won't be as like 90-degree weather as hot.
Well, if we
nice.
go to Colossal Con in June of next year, I want to go to Cedar Point.
I will go to Cedar Point with you, and Michael can stay at the hotel.
Michael can stay at the hotel, yeah. Because
And
Kai
shout out-
also wants to go to Cedar Point around then, even though Kai doesn't want to go to Colossal, just because it's his like birthday-ish.
It's literally right across the street, right?
I know. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And that's why I always say we should go to Cedar Point, because it's right there. And everyone's like, oh, I don't know.
I kept having like these eureka moments during the trip. And one of them was like, because we unsuccessfully were trying to meet up with your brother, but he's been going through some stuff, so he didn't really want to get out of the house.
Shout out my brother.
So, and we were like, well, we don't really want to eat. Everyone was like, we don't really want to eat like when we get there. Like, is there something local so we can just eat and then just go to the Airbnb and sleep? And it just came to me, wait, we don't need a reservation at the Kalahari to eat at the restaurant. Let's go to the B-Lux. So I took them to the Kalahari, and we had
was it cold?
B-Lux.
I remember last time we went to the B-Lux, we got the pretzel and it was cold.
None of my food was cold.
No, everything was awesome for me. And shout out the waitress we had was like super awesome. I've never had that nice of experience with the waitress. Very laid back. Very nice. We gave Sergio chips instead of fries when he was in the bathroom. No big deal. We just got a guest. Sorry, buddy.
Were they good chips?
Were they they were like fried potato skins, kind of almost like homemade.
Yeah, the fries were good. The chips were good.
Those were pretty good.
I've been on a chip kick lately. There's this place by my work. It's like a bar food kind of place that we get lunch at every once in a while, and they have fries like everywhere does, but they also have homemade like kettle chips. And sometimes I just want the damn chips. They're good.
We'll have to remember to talk about the Grippos or whatever they are, the Grimbos later when we get to that spot.
Yeah,
that's ominous.
Also, having the water park be outside the windows of the B-Lux definitely enticed you, Kenny, and David to going to Colossal Con, because David really was cool. Like, hold on a sec, guys, and he just gets up and he's just staring out at the water park for like 5 minutes. So he sits back down and he's like, so getting a hotel for Colossal Con.
So
yeah, I mean, I love going to Colossal Con for a reason, and part of it is the water park. They do, I don't know if Sergio talked about it, they do a late night swim from like 11 to 3, where you can, it's like only people at the convention can go to the late night swim. So it's like you can just walk onto every ride with no lines. Yeah. And they have it's like
Confunk water, baby.
Oh yeah, they got the open bar, and it's a good time. I always go. And it's very fun.
Yeah, after the B-Lux, we finally made it down to Columbus, which is where another one of our con running jokes came from, because I had fallen asleep and I woke up and we're going to Columbus.
In the car? No way.
And I look at one of the highway signs and I go, it's so good to be back in Cleveland. And I typed that into the chat, and Kenny and you, Zenny, had said that you thought we'd actually ended up in Cleveland.
Yeah, we believed it.
It's like one wrong
we're
turn.
Heading towards Cleveland.
One wrong turn.
No, Columbus.
Like, I'm in Cleveland now. This is fine.
Yeah, we stayed at the Wonder Bread Lofts, just like half a mile from the concert. It was close. It was like a 10-minute walk.
That's pretty close.
The Wonder Bread Lofts, big neon Wonder Bread Loft sign. It used to be a
I think
like
the
a
R
Wonder
was
Bread
out,
factory.
so it said bead.
Wonder Bead.
Wonder Bread Lofts.
It was literally like they made lofts.
It's like an apartment complex.
Yeah,
made out of a Wonder Bread factory. This is a nice apartment. What the hell?
It was a little smaller than it looked in the pictures, our room, but
yeah, it's a little
got the job
expensive.
done.
But damn, this is like surprisingly nice.
Yeah, had like a stove, refrigerator, washer and dryer.
Washer and dryer.
What the fuck? It's like 2-story. It looks like the iCarly apartment.
Yeah, we had ours with 2 floors, had a bed upstairs, they gave us an air mattress, plenty of pillows and towels and blankets. And then there was like another bedroom downstairs that I stayed in.
Mm-hmm.
Generally I liked the stay. I
won't lie. If I was given the opportunity to move into the Wonder Bread apartments, I would think about it. Those are surprisingly nice.
I definitely, despite our B&B host allowing 6 people to stay in there, it was not attuned for 6 people because half of them went to go get another hotel room after like the first night. But when it was just me, Kenny, and Zenny, it was a good balanced stay.
It was also nicer when I figured out how to use the air conditioning.
Oh yeah, we had a little adventure trying to get the air conditioning to work.
It only took like a day and a half to figure out, of 90-degree heat inside.
Also, shout out to Micah, the woman who was still logged into the TV.
We just destroyed their YouTube feed.
We did that at it wasn't Colossal last year, was it? There was the year before where we were staying in that trailer for Airbnb, and we just loaded up the Hulu that was logged in on in the trailer, and we just chose
Always Sunny.
Yeah, we chose a random Hulu account and started watching It's Always Sunny, and I was like, God, I hope this isn't a 9-year-old.
Yeah, generally the one advantage, because like preferably, you want the hotel at the venue so you don't have to drive anywhere and you can just like go chill. But the one reason I do like Airbnbs is that they come with a washer and dryer, and that's just nice to have on a trip.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice having like space in between us. A little bit of
that too. You get more space out of it.
Yeah. So we're not
and the walk to the con center from the lofts wasn't bad. It was just super fucking hot.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do it. Shout outs, $25 garage parking. Yay.
Yeah, $25 for parking.
Ugh. They lied. They raised it $5 for the con.
They would.
Oh, that just reminds me. Speaking of raising for con prices, Jake, do you remember that like Wolf Inn we stayed at last Colossal Con?
Great Wolf Lodge?
No, we stayed at this motel that was like the something by Wolf Inn that had the really funny fucking wolf comforters.
Oh, yeah, the one
awesome.
that Alex and Sydney got the
lover suite.
The lover suite, yeah.
Yeah,
with the hot tub.
Yeah, with the heart-shaped hot tub. I was like, guys, I know this is your like romance like hotel room and vacation, but I want to use that hot tub.
The dude koozie.
So Kenny was trying to find like a cheaper place to stay at for Colossal because the Kalahari like immediately filled up. Like it was like fucking trying to buy like a 3080 during the pandemic. It was instantly sold out. And I was like, oh, you should stay at the Wolf Inn. But the Wolf Inn seems to have caught on to the existence of Colossal Con, because now it's $500 a room to book during the Colossal Con block.
Jesus!
But like it's $50 right now. Like if you booked a room there like today, it would be $50 a night. But now, but during Colossal, it's $500.
That's disgusting.
That's like not legal,
which is more
right?
than is more than the Kalahari.
That's not
our
legal,
Kalahari
right?
room is $250 a night.
We got a room, right, for Kalahari?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Sweet. But yeah, no, that's insane. And I also feel like that's like illegal price gouging, but I can't prove that, so.
Well, considering the people that run that place, they're not exactly economically minded. I'm sure they'll realize that they're not going to have anybody staying there during Colossal.
It was like a decent place, but it wasn't a $500 a night decent place, you know?
The wolf sheets, I could see paying $500 for those.
Where else are we gonna put Alex when he has another panic attack from getting too high?
Also, speaking of the parking, let's talk about the venue. Our actual first question.
How was the venue, guys? Here, let me pull up the questions. Where's the questions pinned at? I'll
con
moderate.
recap template.
Okay.
It's at channels.
Yes. Yeah. How was the venue? What can we say about the venue that we haven't already said before?
I really like the GRCC, especially because like you can host like multiple events in there. Like there was an Indian food festival going on. There was
I love their music that was bumping in the room.
There was a weightlifting competition. There was a beauty pageant. We laid eyes on Miss Ohio herself, and goddamn,
no way,
Miss Ohio was bringing it.
It was really fun. Like she walked
in. That's
in.
the upside of being naturally corn fed.
It was funny. She walked in, and Mew was like, "Oh yeah, that's Miss Ohio," and then she had to explain like the concepts of beauty pageants to David, and Mew was like, "Yeah, she's the most beautiful woman in the state," and I was just like, "I agree."
How you doing?
Sergio's mouth is watering.
It was I really liked that convention center a lot.
Yeah, it's nice.
Like they had cool lighting, little like pink neons along the walls, plenty of places to sit, and like you didn't feel crowded.
Yeah, despite there being like a fuck ton of people there, because it was wide, you never felt like it was crowded.
Yeah. Did they use the same? Nice. Did they use the same like main hall for the vendor hall that they did for OhioCon?
No, they did not. They used a different ballroom.
Mm.
It was not a 2-floor, which I really wish they did use that, but there was still plenty of space. Oh yeah. For the
probably
vendors.
Just way more expensive, so I don't blame them for not using it. But you know, it's nice.
We kept making the joke that SYTYCFanon, which is the little con that we went to in Lansing, that's like the spiritual successor to another con that I used to go to called ShudoCon. Because I was like, this place is so big. I was like, what if SYTYCFanon just like took over a hallway? Like they just paid them like $1,500 to get like 3 ballrooms. They could just have it in here while something else is going on.
They totally could.
Like you could potentially hold 2 anime cons at once in that place.
Legit.
Because like there's places in that building I'm sure we've never even been to.
Oh, for sure.
Big it is. Also, what was nice is that they never really closed the con center. Like, you were free to fuck around in that place like all night because we had like late night like Domino's pizza at like 3 a.m. and like security guards came by and we were like, "Are we good?" And he was like, "You here for the convention?" And we were like, "Yeah." I was like, "You're fine then. You're probably at the hotel." We weren't, but
yeah,
you know,
you just got to offer them a slice of pizza and then they'll leave us alone.
We also got accosted by beggars twice. I felt right at home, like I was in Detroit.
Did one steal your money for chocolate bars like that one time?
No.
That's definitely an upside then.
I told one of them because I was in my ranger outfit. I was like, "Dude, I literally don't have pockets." then after he was like out of earshot, he was like, "What about your backpack?" And I was like, "We don't talk about that."
He didn't notice. Don't worry.
I felt bad for the second one because that was when me and Mew were doing the Domino's Vocaloid little photo shoot. We had that empty Domino's box. Like, what about some pizza in there? It's like, no, it's empty. It's just a prop. He's like, oh man.
That was also when we had to inform David, you're not allowed to drink in public.
I mean, you can technically.
Just as long as there's not cops around.
You can once.
You got to cover it up. You got to do the paper bag thing that they do in movies. Yeah, I can't have any complaints about the GRCC, although this friend group got lost and split up so many times. I basically stayed like handcuffed at Kenny through most of the trip so I could stay nearby someone, but we'd all get split up. No one would answer their Discord messages. There was a lot of, where are you? Like, oh, we're at the hotel. Okay, I'm waiting for Kenny. Where is Kenny? No response.
Oh, he's at a panel right now. We're in the food court. Since when?
Also, I have to complain about Matsuricon not giving the full map because Main Event 2 was at the Regency Ballroom, which is not listed on the map. I had to use the handy dandy signs. I mean, the convention center's got great signs. So like as long as you know where you're going, you can just follow them and you'll end up there.
Which I did not. Yeah, I think that's my only complaint is the hotel area towards the back of the convention center was a little messy. Just trying to figure out where to go.
Yeah, but in
I
terms
mean,
of like the con itself, because the hotels were a bit of a labyrinth, but the actual like, con itself had a pretty good layout. I liked all the con rooms. They were panel rooms. They were super big.
Panel rooms were awesome. Nice and air conditioned too.
Oh no, the air conditioning inside that con center was fucking top notch.
Sunday they had that boy going. It got cold in the dealer's room, which is nice. I wasn't complaining. What the hell did happen Friday? It was such a blur.
Yeah, I think that covers venue and layout. We talked about where we stayed, and it says familiar faces. Did you do anything cool with friends? I want to say this is the first con where I didn't run into somebody that I knew. Zach's friend Caleb came to my Omegaverse panel.
You say Zach's friend Caleb, like Caleb isn't more our friend than he is Zach's friend.
No. Zach has another friend named Caleb, who went to my panel. Not Caleb with a K.
My brother Zach?
Yeah.
Zach's friend Caleb. What does he look like?
It is such a blur right now. I just remember, I think he had like short, dark hair. He was kind of a bigger guy.
How did you know that he knew Zach?
Because Zach asked what panel I had, and then I sent it to him because he was like, "Oh, I got a friend going," and then at the end of my panel, he came up to me, and said that he knew Zach. What about you, Zenny? Did you run into anybody that you knew before? Obviously, you met that YouTuber.
Yeah, I met. There was like 2 people in the Matsuri Discord that I bumped into. One was a photographer that I talked to for a little bit. Then, yeah, I bumped into, I guess, Sunday, the Convention Reviews YouTuber, who I've been watching, I want to say, since he's been doing it since like 2013. And I think I found his channel looking up Youmacon one year in 2015 or 16. And I seen him walking in the dealer's room. I was like, "Oh, Convention Reviews, what's up?" And we stopped and talked for a minute, just about like his videos and what we've been up to and how, you know, the con's been going for him.
That's dope.
And yeah, we got me and Mew got a picture with him. Homie is shorter in person. He looks taller in his videos, but there was still like him and his other friends were super nice. And then I believe Mew and Dave met, I think, their friend who also staffs at Doki Dokkan.
Yeah, that guy.
Nick.
That
guy. Nick? Yeah, Nick.
Yeah, he took us out for dinner.
Sweet.
Made us walk the hot streets of Columbus to
What'd
get
you guys get?
This was like bar food. It was good bar food. I had a quesadilla there. The pizza was pretty good too.
Nothing wrong with good bar
box. Sat in the hockey penalty box. And then somebody got a picture of a license plate that said "A Goon" on it.
Incredible.
I ordered a pizza roll and got an entire pizza.
I mean, you could have rolled it up.
Technically, I guess I could have. And then I forgot it in the lobby of the Hilton.
Solved that problem. You know what I think about a lot, Sergio?
What?
That pizza that Matt just like gave to that guy. That was my pizza at NebCon.
I think briefly
when we went to the spaghetti warehouse. And there was like a homeless guy who asked Matt for money, and Matt just gives him my food and is like, "Here, you can just have this." And I didn't want to be an asshole because it's a homeless guy, but like, I wanted to eat that pizza.
Oh man.
He was like, "Yeah." The guy was like, "You sure?" He's like, "Yeah, no worries." And I can't say anything. I can't be like, "No, there is a worry. That's mine," because it's like giving the guy food when he needed it, which was objectively a nice, good thing to do. But subjectively, I wanted that fucking pizza, and that's fucked up, you know?
Yeah. Gonna have to beg for another one.
I'm gonna go back to the spaghetti warehouse.
All right, so I think that covers that. Next is Vendors and Artists Alley. I thought it was pretty good. We got Wild Bills.
Shout out Wild Bills.
Shout out to our boys.
Which I've never had.
It's good.
Can you buy just one cup of like pop, or do you have to
I
buy
think you
like
have to buy like a case,
like the tankard and the
Well, you can get yeah, for at the cons you have to get their cups unless you already have one. You can
okay.
order some from their website. They do have a website where you can get like cans of it.
It's expensive.
Awesome
though. It's like
cups.
$30 for a 12-pack, which is crazy.
A 12 pack. You can buy like just cans of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's
Oh, I didn't
expensive
know
as
that.
shit. I do want to try it. They have a cola, like just a regular cola, which I do kind of want to try because they don't ever bring it to cons that we've been
Yeah,
to.
I'll post their website on generals.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the cup kind of pays for itself if you go to multiple places that they're going to be at.
Like honestly, when we went to Holiday Matsuri in Florida in December, which is not affiliated with Matsuricon, as far as I'm aware,
yes,
we would go, and I had my cup and Sergio had his cup.
Oh, looks like they're going to be at YomaCon
And it was just our like, we are thirsty, we're gonna go get a free refill. And it was really nice. The one night we were there, it was like the con was like 2 hours or 3 hours from closing, and I went to go get a refill with my cup. You have to pay like $5 to get the refill, and the guy gave me like the tag for the refill for that day and tomorrow. So I was like, he was like, it's almost like over, so you can have free refills tomorrow. And I was like, you're my hero.
And it looks like Wild Bills will be back at Holiday Matsuri as well as Midwest Fur Fest.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Shout out Wild Bills.
Oh, they're also going to be at NECACon as well as YomaCon.
Oh, they had custom like cups for Matsuricon.
Yes, they did. I
Those
have
were
two
awesome.
of them. Well, one of them is for Jake, but
Yes.
I have my own.
I should have bought one.
Do you want me to like pay for shipping and have you mail it, or what do we want to do?
Well, I'm going to Holiday Matsuri with you. I'm just gonna bring
That's
it.
true. Just
I
don't
kind of
forget.
want a custom Midwest Fur Fest Wild Bills cup.
Where is
That'd be pretty
Midwest
ballin'.
Fur Fest?
It says it's at the Donald E. Stephens Convention Center. Where
Is that in Chicago?
Looks like it's in Illinois. It's in Rosemont.
Chicago.
Yeah, Rosemont, Illinois.
All right, I'm going just for Wild Bills.
We'll grab Mew.
For no other reason. Yeah, it's in like Chicago. It's right by the Chicago O'Hare International Airport, actually.
You want to swing down to Ohio for the Marion Popcorn Festival? It's happening right now, but Wild Bills is there.
All right, get in the car.
They'll be at Tampa Tattoo Convention. So maybe
they're
I'll go get
everywhere.
some tats in Tampa and get
There
some
you go.
Wild Bills.
Tats and soda.
I've been meaning to get another tattoo. So that would be funny.
Oh, Vendors and Artist Alley. It was nice. It was.
Yeah.
I think it could have been a little bit bigger, but they kind of kept the artists and vendors a little separate, so we didn't get like, I guess, confused in there. We did get lost multiple times and lose each other, which happens,
Of course.
in the vendors hall.
The vendor hall they have
personally-
at they had at OhioCon was nice in there because it was like in the big ballroom with 2 floors. So all the artists for the artist alley were on the top floor, and it was a nice layout.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, they had a really nice selection. I'm still looking for a con that'll give me a fucking good tabletop vendor or a wallet vendor.
Same. I need a new wallet. Mine's getting all fucked up.
I think
Yeah, I'm
JFAX had a good tabletop booth with games to buy.
Yeah, I should have went to JFAX, but I think the one vendor that stuck out to us was Project SYTYCFanon.
Yeah,
It's a premium clothing brand that does a lot of car themed stuff. I got a leather denim jacket from them. We all, or me, Mew, and David did.
Sergio, you know I love denim jackets. Why would you not tell me about this?
I am
they
sorry.
were pretty sick.
What was it
I have
called?
their I have their
Denim
website.
jackets.
Yeah, send me the website. I want to look at that.
Those might be one of my favorite vendors of like all the cons that I visited.
I want a denim
Like, all their
jacket to
stuff
cut
was
the
good.
sleeves off of for the summer.
I just posted.
Because that one denim jacket I got, the sleeves are too cool for me to cut them off realistically.
Here we go. I posted a picture of the gang in their gray denim jackets.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, I got this dragon one. They also have one with a tiger on the back.
Oh,
of
that's
it.
where you got that. Okay,
I think it was mainly like street racing themed. A lot of their stuff was.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like half of it was street racing themed.
I think it'd be really
other,
funny to get
anime
one
shirts.
of these street racing shirts and then wear it while driving my Nissan Rogue.
I'm happy they had like street racers in front of Japanese kombini stores. So they had one in front of 7-Eleven, and they also had my favorite, Family Mart. So I got some street racers in front of a Family Mart. Shout outs Family Mart.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Lawson's.
That's dope.
I bought a bottle opener. I don't drink or open bottles. They just look cool.
Know. You never know.
So yeah, there was a really cool bottle opener place that was selling like fandom like bottle openers, which did come in handy.
Surprisingly, unexpectedly.
Yeah, because Kenny went and bought some blue lights, whatever
something like that
alcohol is called, and I was like, how are you going to open that? We don't have a bottle opener. And I was like, you should have bought a bottle opener at the wait a minute.
Dun, da, da, da. It worked too, but you can also just display them. It came with like a little hook to display. That was my plan. I've also been for the past like 2 years I've been looking for the boob mouse pads. Is anybody selling boob pads? And I believe you guys finally found me some boob pads to choose from.
Yeah, so you got a Chun-Li boob pad, right?
That's real friendship.
I got the Chun-Li. I didn't want the High School DxD or like Food Wars. Those were too horny. So I finally got my boob pad.
They should make a variation of the Chun-Li boob pad and make the Chun-Li thigh pad.
It should have been.
That's what I said.
That's what would sell.
It makes more sense.
I realize we don't have a thing for guests in here, but the guests were in the artist alley, so I guess I can talk about that too. Sure. So I met 3 guests. I met our boy ProZD. It's a Fanon tradition to get the picture with ProZD. Although I kind of like froze while talking to him and made myself look like an idiot because I was just like I got my thing. He's signing it, and I'm like, hey, I really enjoyed your. And I just like stood there for like 10 seconds. I was trying to say panels. I was like, I gotta get a picture.
Short-circuited.
I went to J. Michael Tatum's booth, who was a guy I had no idea about really, but we went to a panel of his. He was doing a like an 18 plus like stories panel, and I was looking on Wikipedia, and I was like, holy shit, he's Sid in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's my guy. I gotta get an autograph for him. Mm-hmm. So like I talked to him a bit. We talked about Final Fantasy, and we were just kind of like nerding out. And I was like, dude, when when me and my brother got to the part when I knew like Sid was gonna show up, I just fucking like put the controller down and just started like fucking like clapping and soy jacking. And my brother was like, "Could you just play the game?" I'm like, no, I'm about to see the goat.
Yeah, he was super nice at the I guess the panel that we went to. I didn't meet him, but he seemed like a really nice dude.
Yeah, somebody brought their dog to the panel, and they like pressed it above their head to see if he would like bring it on stage. He was like, "Please put the dog down. You could come up here. You could."
He didn't know what it was at first because I was like, "Yeah, is that a rug you're holding up? What is that?" It's like, "No, it's a dog." Everyone was screaming.
I don't think that dog was 18. That was an 18 plus panel.
Yeah, but like
an 18 plus dog.
You have to take into consideration like dog years. Like
yeah, but I don't know if it was 18 in dog years.
It was like a Pomeranian or something.
Speaking of which,
the dog is like 3 years old. Like you're good.
Matsuricon had introduced some new technology that I've never seen at a con. They had scanners for IDs instead of just like looking at them.
Oh yeah, I've never had that before. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Like the first day, like a Friday, they just had like little black lights that they would they would read and then they would check with the black. But the second one, they had like scanners that were both Michigan and like I guess it's got a whole state database because they were able to do mine no problem.
Yeah,
I don't know if I don't think they could do David's UK ID, but obviously they could read it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I don't know if it was a con staffer or somebody, but somebody asked David, "Is your accent because of your ethnicity, or are you just like doing that?"
Your ethnicity.
That's how it works.
Incredible.
I wonder how he even responds to that.
Wait, because I think
British?
somebody didn't think his ID was real either, and then they
Oh.
asked him if his accent was part of his ethnicity or it's just something he was doing.
He's lying.
Is it a bit like, or do you really sound like that?
I mean, it could be. So you met J. Michael Tatum and Sungwon Cho.
Oh, he's
Yes.
he's
Yes.
Sir Hammerlock. I do know who that is.
And I also met Jameson Price, plays
I also-
Sojiro
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Persona. And I asked him usually when I asked him, like, usually, like, if I'm going for like a certain autograph, I asked him, like, how was playing the character, and he was like, he was like, I like Sojiro a lot. I'm a dad, so I was just channeling some of that dad energy. And I said, my favorite line of Sojiro's is when you try to call like his cell phone and he doesn't pick up, so you have to call and then you try to call his cell phone and it doesn't work, and he calls you on the cafe phone, and he's like, yeah, I didn't know who that was. I don't make I don't make a habit of keeping men's phone numbers in my phone. And that just made Jameson just like start belly laughing when I told him that, and he was like, I completely forgot that I said that. That's hilarious.
Who was your favorite out of the guests that you met?
Or
I guess best experience.
I think best experience was probably J. Michael, but in terms of like panels, ProZD knocked it out of the park with his rating waifus and husbandos. This one probably wasn't like my favorite version of that panel I've seen. However, I did learn about the because people kept mentioning this game called Limbus Company.
Yeah. You've never heard of that
like
game?
a disease.
Yeah, I'd never heard of Limbus Company. I looked it up, and apparently it's a part of a like shared universe with Lobotomy Corporation.
Yeah.
That like SCP-esque game, and then there's like a deck builder that's also part of the universe, and they have like manhwa and stuff. Like I'm sitting in the middle of this panel, like I fell down a rabbit hole. I think I need to check this out.
Yeah, there's a panel, a guest panel at conventions that started recently that I want to go to, where it's Alex Lee, the voice of P3 Protag in the remake, and it's Yuri Lowenthal, like doing a panel together. And I think it's just called like the Two Guys panel or something, and I really want to go see that just because I think that'd be really funny.
Yeah,
because they're both the P3 Protag, and they both are funny on social media, so it has to be at least kind of amusing.
Yeah, I liked my experience meeting Yuri at Yoma that one year.
Let's see. We're on. How are the gamer rooms?
What about Sungwon Cho's the Ohio food panel? Should we talk about that, or is that?
We watched
like a guest hosted one.
Yeah, we watched Sungwon eat Skyline chili for the first time and absolutely hate it.
Skyline, I won't say Skyline's good because I don't like chili, like in general. But
it's not good.
It's something I will never touch.
It's fine. Like
I didn't know it had chocolate in it too.
Yeah,
cinnamon and chocolate.
That's flavor.
Or
you can't taste it. As someone who used to have it like on chili dogs, it's just like whatever. Like it's exactly what it's bland. It doesn't really add anything. I think honestly, I swore off chili dogs because of Skyline. To be honest,
sounds about right.
Well, did you have it like one time and hate it, or what?
Yeah, I had a couple times, and I just did not like Sky. So I was like, okay, I don't like chili on hot dogs, but no, I don't like Skyline chili on hot dogs. Is the actual thing.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to know what's gross? Like that's worse than Skyline and like Columbus, Cincinnati.
What?
Have you ever heard of a slider dog?
No.
Like a hamburger slider?
No, it's a thing they serve at the Cleveland baseball team's games. What are they called now? The Guardians, I think. It's like a thing at the Guardians like progressive field, and it's a hot dog topped with mac and cheese and bacon.
I
And Fruit
can see
Loops.
that working. No, oh my god, are you kidding me? I was in. I haven't had a hot dog since '06, but you almost talked me into it until the Fruit
I
Loops
also
came in.
haven't had a hot dog in like God knows how long, but I would eat it. Honestly, probably.
I bet you can't even taste the Fruit Loops. It's probably just
There's
like
a lot of
crunch and
Fruit
everything
Loops
is
on
there?
it. Okay. I'm gonna post this picture in general so you guys can see the slider dog.
Follow your nose.
There's a lot of Fruit Loops on it.
Why are there Fruit
Just
Loops?
like a
Why
bowl
are there
of
Fruit
cereal.
Loops?
I would still eat it. I haven't been to Progressive Field in 15 years maybe.
It's just loose Fruit Loops. They're like not even like baked in with it. It's just like somebody like spilled their bowl of cereal on top of the chili dogs.
That's great.
Sonic would be disappointed.
Sonic
would eat those.
I think Sonic would devour that. Oh, this you bringing up Sonic brings up an interesting point that I have to ask you since Sergio's distracted. I had an argument with our good friend and co-host of the podcast, Kai. Do you think Sonic the Hedgehog is cool?
Cool?
Yeah, like is he cool? Like
No.
the character?
No.
No?
He doesn't do anything.
He's cool. What do
Like,
you mean?
cool.
What do you
He's
mean doesn't do
edgy.
anything cool?
Edgy doesn't equal cool.
Sonic is not edgy. Shadow is
Little
edgy.
bit. They're both. He does like the finger wave.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like,
This is fucked up. I'm learning a lot about you right now as a person, and it's disturbing me deeply.
I'm sorry. I don't really know much about Sonic, to be honest. I've tried to keep away from him, probably because he's not cool.
He is cool. Wow, this is
Does he wear
upsetting.
sunglasses?
No, he doesn't wear. He's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well,
He wears
sunglasses make you
shoes.
cooler.
He's got an
It's like
attitude.
See?
That's cool.
He's not a nice guy.
You're telling me why? You see me being like 10 and playing Sonic Adventure 2 and watching him like break out of police custody and then like snowboard down the San Francisco streets. Like that was all I needed.
Was that Sonic 06?
No, Sonic Adventure 2.
Sonic
Escape from the City.
Might have jumped it up a bit. He's close to cool. He's not.
He's cool. Sonic's
He's kinda
always been
dorky.
cool. But Kai said that Sonic wasn't cool, and that very upset me. Because Sonic's cool.
I think he's unironically cool.
He like dances.
He
He's got
tries
some
to be cool, and it
stuff.
maybe comes off a little like playful, where it's like, okay,
Yeah, but
he's quirky. I guess.
you know who else does that? Dante from Devil May Cry, and he's cool.
He's pretty cool. Featuring Dante.
Featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry franchise.
Did we lose Sergio?
No, I'm here.
He was
Okay.
distracted, but we're good.
All right.
I
do want to talk about the guest that me and Mew had a chance to meet too.
Go for it.
That we lined up for. It was what's his last name? Rico Fajardo, I believe.
What's
think
he been in?
I can. I know he's the voice of Lemillion in My Hero.
Yeah, Rico Fajardo.
Fajardo, yeah. And I had a previous friend say that she met him before, and he was like super awesome, super nice. Like takes time to talk to all the guests. He'll like jump out of line. I think he did push-ups with like a Lemillion cosplayer in front of them before, like Otakon.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like kept on saying, you gotta meet him, because he voices a character in Zombieland Saga, the main character Kotaro, who me and Mew did a group cosplay as last year. So I was like, okay, I have an in with him. We can talk about something, and I feel like this is like an anime that's not as popular, so he might like have more love for it. It's like underrated. So I pulled up some pictures of our Zombieland shoot, and when we got up there, I said, hey, I did, because he had prints. Here, I'll post some pictures. He had prints of the Zombieland Saga thing to sign, and he's seen that we're getting the Zombieland Saga, so he got excited. I was like, oh, we did cosplay. And he was super into it. He was like laughing at all the photos. He's like, oh, you did the French. And we had a baguette, and he was looking and laughing at the pictures and stuff. This is my first time meeting a guest at a convention. I have never got an autograph or picture with one or talked to any of the guests after like the 8 years that I've been going to conventions. And I don't think anyone can top Rico. I think Rico wins as like guest experience.
Oh yeah.
From my experience. He was legit, like super nice and super awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
he just stopped. He was talking to us like he was bringing up stuff like out of left field. He was like talking about like He's like, I want to start like a interactive like escape room restaurant experience, like a dinner theater thing.
That's
And
awesome.
it's like you blindfold people and separate them, and then you bring them together, and they have to like solve clues and like go with what they seen. It's like, oh, cool, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out his handler that works with him that like helps out. I guess she follows him around. In the anime Zombieland saga, there is a zombie dog named Romero, and I guess the handler's mom makes plushies like in her free time, and she made a Romero plush and sold it on Etsy. And it just so happened, like, it was just coincidental. It's like, oh, I have that plush, and she's like, my mom made that.
That's awesome. That's like the ultimate like small world syndrome.
So she was like super stoked about that. So I think we had like an in where like he wanted to talk to us more, and we got our autograph. So I asked him about this character from Zombieland Saga, Kotaro, that he voices. I was like, do you like voicing him? Because all he does is scream all the time. He like stopped for a second. He's like, that is my absolute favorite character to voice ever. And I think that was like another in. It's like, oh, he's like, I love his character so much. And he seemed like into the anime. Like it seemed like he actually like watched it. Because he was even talking about like, oh yeah, the Japanese voice actor, he was doing this song, and he was like telling me stuff that I've like seen this anime 3 times. It's like, I don't remember that. So he was into it. He was a really cool guy. And I stupidly asked for a picture with him, and then realized like right after, I was like, oh, you got to pay for those. But he was like, you know what? Fuck it. And he jumped up for a picture with us. And then he stole a pair of sunglasses from a Gojo cosplayer in line. He's like, Gojo, give me your glasses for the picture.
That's fucking so funny.
I hope he gave him his glasses back.
I hope he
we
did
took off after. And I think he just stole Gojo's sunglasses.
It's like, these are mine now. Buy more.
So if you ever have a chance to meet Rico Fajaro or whatever his last name is, do it. Just go talk to him.
Sounds awesome.
10 out of 10 experience. That definitely that was definitely one of the best parts of the con, meeting him.
All right. Any other you want to bring up before we go on to the next question about the gamer room, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
Are there any cool gamer rooms at all at the con?
We didn't have time to really. I didn't really
gaming?
go. I
didn't go in there.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to check out the arcade. I know that Kenny popped in and it was full, so we left.
Yeah.
The tabletop room was nice. I think it was the same tabletop room they had at OhioCon.
Yeah.
No games for sale.
Nope.
Bummer.
Finger waggle. Which we didn't. We didn't have a lot of time to go in there. We kept getting interrupted every time we play thing. But me and Kenny were in there for maybe 40 minutes waiting for everybody to show up, and I'm like, okay, I forgot to bring I didn't bring Tic-Tac-KO or Mantis or any of the games that we could play with 2 players. So I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna see if they have anything to play. And obviously for 2-player options they have Battleship and chess. But then I spotted Uno and I was like, okay, we'll play Uno for 45 minutes, and then Kenny proceeded to beat my ass.
With 2 people? I guess you can, but
you can, yeah.
I don't know if I would.
It was fun. It's still fun with 2 people.
Reverse. 2 hops this time. Yeah,
So
I think I seen pictures of the video game room. It looked okay. They had some arcade cabinets and even consoles and PCs to play, I believe.
Yeah, they had separate, they had an indie game room, which I think some people were doing some demos in. They had a PC gaming room. They had a console gaming room. They had
even VR.
I remember the indie gaming room from us going in the past, if I remember correctly. I've only seen it at cons that we've been to. I like stuff like that. It's cool that the cons do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of my best Youmacon memories is trying out this tabletop system called Ember Wind with Michael.
I remember. I think I tried at least once.
Yeah,
forgive me. Hurtful.
Yeah. We tried it when it was in its earliest alpha of them trying to get it off the table. I would like to play it at some point see if it's on Foundry.
Yeah. What was it called?
Ember Wind.
Ember Wind. Look it up.
Yeah, it's a really fun tabletop system. It's really easy to make a character in it. Like all of like the abilities and stuff you get are like really fun. It's a roll low system rather than roll high, which is interesting. And especially like it is so easy to synergize with people in that game without even like building your characters to do that. Oh, and also another thing that Emberwind does, I haven't seen other tabletops, is that the enemies have like an AI. So each enemy has like a grid that you put like a guy on, and then like the DM like rolls a dice and they go across like the grid, and that like is like it makes like an AI behavior for the enemies to go through, and that's pretty cool. And then, because that was basically it for the gamer room, staff. Staff. No problem with staff. I didn't have too many staff interactions. Shout out to the guy who said my name as Sergio Bertmieta. Oh, I probably shouldn't say that, but he did say Sergio. Sergio. That's
like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, that's my favorite mispronunciation of my name. It's the most common, Sergio.
That was at the registration.
Yeah, I went up to registration. And I was like, here's my here's my ticket, here's my ID, and he's like, yes, Sergio.
I still think our best registration moment was at NebCon when one of our friends who has the same name as a fictional character in real life went to register and gave their name, and the registration person was like, "What's your real name?" And he was like, no, that's my name, it's on my ID. And they were like, no, and he had to pull it out and show it to them.
Is Sergio Russian? Is that Russian?
I don't think so.
No, the Russian version of Sergio is Sergey.
Yes.
I feel like that happened at a con. Somebody thought your name was Russian or something before.
Yeah, it was at a Summer Bash during that really bad Mad Libs panel. Everybody was asking if I was Eastern European or something.
You do get that a lot. You always get looks when you tell people your name is Sergio, which I think is because you don't look the part of a Sergio, if you know what I mean.
I'm Hispanic. I think that's all that should count.
That's true, but not to some people.
But you cannot look at me and go like, you're from Russia. Like, no. Where, what?
No, I believe it.
Then up is what panels did you see and how were they? So obviously we talked about the Pro ZD panels. Those went well. I went to a Atomic Age of Kaiju panel, which I think I've seen this guy's panels before, and who he does like usually like Godzilla or like Monsterverse panels. I think he did like a Gamera panel at like Colossal one year, I think. I don't think he's that great of a host. The panel was mostly just us watching trailers for old kaiju movies, which was fun, but like he didn't really seem like too knowledgeable on like the subjects, and he didn't really go like in depth on something. Like he talked about this director that I'd never heard of. I think his name is Jeffrey Ho, and basically what he would do is he would take unfinished like Hong Kong and like Korean movies, and then grab some like American actors that he could find over there, and then film like over the top like ninja action scenes with them. And I'm like, wow, that sounds really fucking funny. I hope he talks about him during the actual panel, because he was doing like a pre-show where he was like showing like just like videos until it started, but he didn't talk about them, and I was like, what? Like I thought this was like gearing, like this was gearing up, like if I came to the panel early I'd get like a little preview of what was actually going to be in the panel, but no, that didn't happen. I know you and Kenny went to a visual novel panel that was happening at the same time.
So yeah, I was like, I'm going to stop by the panel that the Sergio's at and watch a couple of old kaiju movie recaps. What was that last one with like the bird monster before I took off? Do you remember what that one was called, or what was it about? It looked pretty awesome, like terribly awesome.
The one with the big giant bird.
Like fly. It looked terrible, but it looked amazing at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not remembering that. I know the movie you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever he showed. It wasn't like Godzilla related or anything, right? It was just its own little thing.
Yeah, it was just like a American monster movie from like the 50s.
It looked pretty awesome. Like the effects look terrible. Like a guy got swallowed up by a bird, or like giant like monster hawk thing or something. But yeah, I was gonna I'll stop by Sergio's panel, that one he's at, and then I'll go to Kenny's after. And I went outside. Sorry, Kenny, I ditched your panel once I found out it was like 18 plus. Like people were like, "You needed a license to get." And I was like, you know what? I'll sit this one out and hang out in the hallway for a little bit till it's over.
Oh, it was The Giant Claw is the name of the movie.
Yeah. All right, movie night. We're gonna watch the
I'll
Giant
post
Claw.
it in general.
Let's
yeah,
see.
I just typed in
Atomic
Bullet to Kill Giant Bird movie, and it showed up immediately.
Giant bird movie.
All right, movie night.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, because the whole crux of the movie, because movie trailers just spoil the whole fucking movie, is that they this bird has they're worried that killing the bird will unleash a disease that it has, so they have a guy use an atomic bullet to shoot the bird down.
Many such cases.
Yeah, bird flu.
Are there any other panels you wanna?
The fucking potato panel.
Wait, we still there was a Itasha panel, right?
Oh yeah, I fell asleep in an Itasha panel because we didn't get a lot of sleep the last night because of how late we came in. It was fine. It was about Itashas, the cars. They got stuff on them. I'm not really a car guy.
Anime girl raps on them.
It was good. It was informative, but
I missed that.
Not
one.
my thing.
I was getting lost in the convention center to make it to that one.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I think Nerdlesque and the potato panel.
Shout out Nerdlesque and the potato panel. Here we go.
Yeah, so I took Kenny and Cade and Zenny to their first burlesque show at Nerdlesque, which is a burlesque troupe that does cons and also other events in Ohio. We saw 3 of their dances, which were pretty good.
Yeah.
Obviously I saw boobs 10 out of 10, but amazing choreography and costume work. There was a girl who was a tropical storm that, as the costume came apart, turned into a Sharknado.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome. I won't lie.
Revealing a shark fin on her back.
Yeah, there was a sexy Zoidberg.
Sexy Zoidberg. Shout out Sexy Zoidberg.
But we decided to leave early to check out a panel that was entitled "How to Eat a Potato," and I was expecting the level of epic shitpost like 2B eats an entire rotisserie chicken at Colossal Con North. But what we got was a bunch of drunk people rambling about raw potatoes for an hour.
Was it good though? Was it a good panel?
No.
It was barely a panel at all. You might even consider that.
That's incredible.
I was ready to go. It was a long day. I was mad. I wasn't having a good time.
I was like, we should have just stayed at the burlesque.
Kenny was having the absolute time of his life.
Kenny and Cade thought it was fucking hilarious.
I think we just came in and they had one of those big carrying totes with individually baggied
raw potatoes,
raw ass warm potatoes. They were just throwing them out to the audience.
Did they eat the potatoes at the panel?
Yes, everyone ate the damn potatoes. I think Mew and Dave, Mew just jammed the potato right in their mouth and is like, oh. And I think Kenny's like, mine has black stuff on it. I'm not eating that. And then he's like, I feel kind of sick.
Yeah, no, we accidentally triggered Mew's hypochondria, but I do not think should have been told, oh yeah, you can't eat raw potato. You can eat a raw potato. It's a little rough on your belly, but you can eat them. It's fine.
And they had 4 potato facts playing on the slide. I believe in Mexico the potato is called the potato.
It was a patata, I think.
Patata. That's right.
I think with the right person, not the kind of drunk that these people were, could have made it a really funny panel, but it just wasn't it. They clearly didn't have much of a presentation like made. Because the presentation they did, I think had the potential to be funny, but they kind of like whiffed all of their bits pretty hard. Probably because they were smashed.
Talking about other topics. There's like 3 people talking at once. And somebody apparently in the audience just had like salt, their own personal salt thing. So they were walking around sprinkling Himalayan sea salt on people's potatoes.
This had been like a panel that had been ran at a couple conventions. So there's a couple
an industry plant.
Yeah, there were a few industry plants in the audience to continue the bits of their panels.
One of the guys just left the room and brought in a hand sanitizer stand that he apparently stole at like a con or something, or this con. I have no idea.
Incredible.
Pink guy came in to the panel, fondled someone's face and ran out. We don't know.
It was a consensual fondling. I'm pretty sure they were friends.
Okay, we don't know that, but so
I overheard their conversation.
Your Honor, the fondling was kosher.
I guess that was something. Then we met the potato people after the panel. They were standing there, and we got a picture with them. They had no idea what was going on. Why would you want a picture with us? Because funny. I think I can find that picture somewhere. That's when you guys were doing your Chain of Memories cosplay.
Yes.
We were grabbing some pictures of that.
You did Jaina, and I did Jaden. Jaden sucks.
I love the Jaden sucks Jaden cosplay. That's so good.
Yeah. There it is. Jaden sucks. That was another thing we liked shouting out during the con.
Yeah, the other one was because of woke.
Because of woke. Everything.
Everything. Any time we could pull off a because of woke, we would do it.
Why?
Incredible.
Because of woke.
Because of woke.
I do like the Coke fountain drink machine. Like all the drinks were broken. Why? Because of woke. The Coke is broke because of woke.
Go woke, go broke. No Coke.
That's right. Here we go. I think somebody had a picture of it I stole. Broke. Out. Broke. Dr. Pepper. You just get the Mountain Dew. At least there was Mountain Dew in that one. That was pretty much it for the panels, other than J. Michael Tatum's panel, which was my first time going to that. Mew was really an advocate for going to his panel.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think he just kind of told stories. What was the premise of the panel? We made it kind of late to that one, as it was already going.
So basically, because I've also seen Todd Habercorn does a similar panel. Well, basically, he calls you up, he asks you like heads or tails, and if you get it, you get to ask him a question, and then if he gets it, he asks you a question.
Okay.
Which he had incredible bad luck because everybody just kept asking him something. Which I mean, he has some pretty good stories, but
yeah, they were all really funny. Like he was really good at telling stories.
And then we just had our panels that we hosted.
Yeah, how are your panels?
Zenny, do you want to talk about your fight with Bill Gates?
No. So this would be my second time doing the Cringe Era panel, where I show videos and talk about anime conventions from 2004 to 2010, kind of specifically. So that era of blooming anime conventions, when they like really started kind of popping off, anime started getting more popular, like in the West, then more cons started going and more people started to find them. It's a real interesting time for anime conventions. And a really wild time too, because that's when the Yuri and Yaoi paddles came in, the glomping, the free hugs, and now like all that's outlawed. So I basically find YouTube videos and pictures of just people's adventures at these cons from back in the day. I don't know did you go to it last year at Youmacon? I know a couple of people from the
Jake was not there. I was.
Yeah, I was stuck in Florida because of woke.
Because of woke, exactly. And then, so right before I was about to, set up in the con, I was like, I'm going to turn my computer on, my laptop, and I think what caused my computer to break is that the battery life is non-existent, and it just shut down. So I think I had to like update and like reinstall everything. right before my panel started. So I didn't have my computer for like a good chunk of the panel.
Yeah, like 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20, 30 minutes. So yeah, that kind of messed the flow up of everything. I went and I was like, well, let me go tell the staff that I might have to cancel this panel because if my computer doesn't turn on, it's still just an empty black screen. I was like, I don't want people sitting around. You know, I hate to ruin people's days, just them waiting for nothing to happen. So I was talking to the staff, and the staff, again, bringing back to this, they were super nice. Like, really, I was like, well, you know, try doing this. And I was like, I don't know. And they kind of cheered me on and did everything they could to help. And I think it was like, well, I'm sitting there, I was like, I can talk to the audience for a little bit. I do a little spiel in the beginning. So I'll do that. And it's like, what happens if I plug the HDMI cord and we can watch like the live update as the numbers like go up and update? And then it's like Kenny was helping me run the panel. I was like, well, let's see if it can update to 69. It's almost at 69. And then you watch the number tick to 70 instead of 69. The whole crowd goes, no. So that was a little excitement watching live updates. But it finally went. And I did get a little scatterbrained throughout the panel because I didn't have time to easily go through it. I had to speed through everything. I had to cut some stuff out to make time for the panel. So that really kind of sucked. But I guess I managed to get a little bit of everything that I wanted to in. We watched that big long video I made, and I had a cameo from Kyle Hebert, he voices Big the Cat from Sonic, Fat Gum from My Hero Academia, and many more. He does Gohan's voice from Dragon Ball Z, and he does the if you've watched the end of Dragon Ball Z, next time on Dragon Ball Z, he does that. And he had a cheap cameo, and I did like a little skit where he just kind of interrupts my panel in the middle of it. I think people had fun with that one. Shout out Kyle Hebert for being way cheaper than Todd Habercorn. Todd Habercorn wants like $100+ for a cameo. I don't know. He ain't worth that.
Gotta pay the bills somehow.
Nope. Then I introduced a new game to my panel called Who Wants to Guess the Cosplayer? What did you think of that segment, Sergio?
Had we had more time to play it, I liked it a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I found cosplayers, like pictures of cosplayers, and I would silhouette them out. And I would have two people just kind of guess, who do you think this character is? And then I'd reveal it. And it was just a maddening nonstop assault of who wants to guess the cosplayer. I do like I found a license plate. Who wants to guess the license plate? And the revealed to say Baka. Somebody had their license plate as. So, I guess I did meet some people after the con that recognized me and said they had a good time at my panel. I'm led to believe it was an absolute disaster, but people said they had fun. You know, and I think I've seen even a few people in the Discord mention like, oh yeah, the Cringe Era panel. I was like, wow. Well, I think I had the staff said 299 people came in and out of my panel, which is a lot. That's terrifying. But everyone had fun, I believe. We all did the Carmella dance at the end. A lot of people had fun with that. Dave beamed a girl with a bag of Pocky sitting behind him. I don't know if you've seen that.
I did not see that.
I think I asked, like, who wants Pocky? I had Pocky to give out, and then somebody behind Dave like raised their hands like, I want some, and he goes, here, and he literally like football through that little bag of Pocky and beamed her right in the face. And I was like, oh my god, you just killed someone in my audience. And I was like, we have to kick you out, kick the British person out. What else happened at my panel other than Bill Gates causing my computer to crash and ruining the whole thing? But we made it out alive. Again, the staff was really nice. They even like asked like, hey, can I help set up? Can I help break you down? And they should have asked for help because I forgot my laptop charger in the room. And we all survived the Cringe Era.
Hell yeah.
I remember to keep a button this time. Custom button. Limited edition, baby.
Incredible.
not to go to my panel, but I just want to make a quick thing here that I went to the Matsuricon Discord in 2024, asked the staff, and I found a thread where they were trying to someone was trying to accuse Matsuricon of doing an AI picture of their dog mascot on like the movement room thing on the website, and even after like the main events person showed them like the Photoshop layers of how they put the image down, they're like, this is not proof, this is clearly a doctored image.
Could just be like a vector image, but okay.
But they were like, I need the sketch that you used to come up with this, and a time lapse as well if you putting it together.
That is ridiculous. Or damn dog. What the dog doing?
What the dog doing?
This was DogCon. There were a lot of dogs.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Matsuricon gets a 10 out of 10. Just letting dogs chill at the con.
They got that dog in them. Bark, bark. You know what I'm saying?
There was a lot of dogs people were walking around.
That's a good way to spiral to my Omegaverse panel. My first 18 plus biology panel. I thought it went really well. I kind of got a little nervous by the time I hit the genetics portion, and I was kind of rushing through it a little bit. But I like the presentation I did. Everyone else seemed to like it. I had a lot of questions being asked. I liked the discussion afterwards. I had a girl shilling her Omegaverse zine to me because she was like, do you take suggestions? And I was like, yeah, of course. I'm always looking for stuff to read on the podcast. She's like, well, I just started this a new issue of my Omegaverse zine, and she had these little flyers that she was giving out. So I had Kenny run and grab me one of them, and I posted her link tree in our fanfic channel for later. But this goes to the one and only con chud of the con. So there's this group of friends in the back. One of them stands up and they ask me two questions. One is related to the panel, and the second one is asking if I am single on behalf of one of their friends. And I didn't hear the first part of the question, but I heard the second part. And I had Kenny run back to give her a microphone so I could hear it. She didn't say the second part again. So I made sure that I said, I am single. And immediately after I say this, someone in the audience goes, he's just fucking around. And then they left 5 minutes later.
Incredible.
And then Mew was like, Sergio, I'm so sad that happened. The girl that she was pointing to had a big ol' curly hair and big bazongas, and I just felt like I wanted to jump off the fucking sky bridge.
Throwing himself off the second floor. Yeah, you got cucked, boy.
I did. The fucking cock blocker is con chud of the decade, really. It's not even over with. But
that would be on this bitch of an earth.
Under the jail.
Sergio could have had a hot mama under his arm.
I could, but all it said I got was I don't know. I did get a lousy T-shirt this con.
The woke mob trying to stop another heterosexual relationship.
Yeah, because of woke.
Because of woke.
But I definitely would add a little more to the panel. I know some people were wanting me to talk more about like transitioning in the Omegaverse, and perhaps like nature versus nurture, like people being made into alphas and omegas by like conditioning, or if there's like not one around, like that sort of thing that happens in the animal kingdom where like one slots into the role when there isn't one around.
I'm sure we can work on that together and find something.
Yeah, I mean, I am hosting it later at probably a whole mat.
I'd like to do it with you, only because I think that would be really funny.
Yeah, we talked all about butt wombs and getting butt pregnant and all that great stuff. What did you think of it, Zenny? I know you came in like 5-10 minutes later.
I came in with zero knowledge of what the hell you were talking about. I had no idea what this panel was about. Definitely not what I was expecting. But I don't know.
Do you feel like you learned something? Really
no, I actually think I lost brain cells at this panel.
Well, then we did it right.
You definitely did it right.
Yeah, I know the guy at the door was like, there were plenty of people coming in who had no idea what the fuck the Omegaverse was.
Which was kind of your plan in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's going to be some disappointed people. But yeah, the guy, the door attendant, even said he had fun, like listening in. And you did a really good job, though. Like everything was laid out.
Yeah. All of you were gassing me up afterwards, talking about my amazing public speaking skills, which I don't think they're great, but I'm glad.
I know I wasn't interested in learning more about the whatever this is, but I know Cade really was. He was about learning about the Omegaverse or whatever the hell it is. Kept on asking you questions about it.
Mm-hmm.
I did look when we were standing there after your panel towards the back of the room, and I seen somebody carrying a big cardboard standee of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yes. There was somebody who had a big standee of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from one of those like Zoa like stands, but they replaced the Zoa with Gamer Girl bathwater.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, if that was like con related or if that was like someone brought that as like a cosplay piece or what.
They were just bringing it around with
I
them.
We didn't ask because it wasn't like part of like a cosplay that they had. They just were dragging this thing around the con center.
Yeah, probably just for people to get pictures in front of. He had the Yu-Gi-Oh thing around his neck. I think they were using
the Millennium Puzzle.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Millennium Puzzle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we got to meet The Rock, and we also got to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Real.
Yes, we took pictures by the Arnold statue outside the con.
Let's go. I was super excited about the Arnold statue.
Which I didn't realize that was... I'd never known that was there until like after I stopped going to OhioCon.
I feel like we passed it one time and I mentioned something about it, but it's just kind of there.
Yeah, I remember.
I also realized that the Muse got the Gundam Crocs on in this picture.
I want those Gundam Crocs. Those are dope.
We seen someone else wearing those actually in like the vendors hall. I was like, wow, everybody has the Gundam Crocs except for me, and I'm okay with that. But in Google Maps, when I was looking up where the con was, there was just like one of those like little tourist blips that just said Arnold statue. I was like, what the hell is an Arnold statue? And I was like, look, oh, it's literally a statue of Arnold Schwarzenegger, because I think his first like strongman or iron whatever, the muscle man competition was at that like convention center in Columbus back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a statue of him.
Imagine you went to it, and instead of it being an Arnold Schwarzenegger statue, it was of Hey Arnold from Hey Arnold.
That would be pretty cool.
Like, oh yeah, it's the Arnold statue.
Hey Arnold, move it, football head. So we all got to pump some iron with Arnold. And as I think one of my favorite things was when me and Mew were doing our Domino's Vocaloid photo shoot, that one old guy, like the boomers, came walking by as we were posing in front of the statue. And we're like, come on, get a picture with us. We were like egging him on, come on, get a picture with us. He's like, no, I don't want to be in a pizza commercial. And we finally got him up to pose with us. He's like, I hope I don't end up in a Domino's commercial. I don't know if he actually thought we were like legit worked for Domino's, but either way, it was a fun time. And I'm glad somebody got a picture of us standing with the old guy. Mm-hmm. They definitely seemed like they were from the South. I think he had a pretty thick accent.
I mean, I don't know. That
could be Columbus.
That could just be like not even like Columbus, like West Ohio.
Yeah.
Like, driving through Toledo is it's just kind of like that. I mean, even especially like southern, like Southwest Ohio for sure, because you're so close to like Kentucky. Yeah. That's a very common accent in Kentucky and Southern Ohio.
Did we have any other chuds, Sergio?
Not really. I think everybody was on their best behavior this con. Although apparently there was before we got in, there was a heckler at J. Michael Tatum's panel that he just like shut down like immediately.
Oh,
he was just, like,
the horny time guy.
I think so. Yeah.
Somebody just shouted out, "It's horny time" or something.
Yeah, and he was just like, "Can you not?"
What about the Rick Astley guy in the tabletop room?
Oh yeah, we had a guy come up to, like someone working the tabletop room who just shilled his Instagram to us because he goes by like fake risk. He's a Rick Astley impersonator guy.
Apparently,
yeah.
He can also sing like him too. So
which I was just confused. I was like, have you been doing this to everybody who comes in here?
I think he was about to when we were leaving. There was another group of people he walked up to. I thought that was.
What does this have to do with games?
Yeah. By the way, guys, I look like Rick Astley, don't I? Who I think we will talk about in a little bit coming up. Actual Rick Astley and Never Gonna Give You Up.
Did he look like young Rick Astley, or was he older?
Like young,
Yeah.
like from like the video, the Rickroll video.
Mm-hmm.
Never Gonna Give You Up.
The Rickroll video.
Now, in terms of top tier attendees that we've met, I didn't have too many like attendee interactions. However, the guy who was Randy Marsh with the huge testicles.
Yes, I have his picture right here. He was amazing. Let me share his picture. So yeah, Randy Marsh from South Park. I didn't see the episode, but apparently he had just giant testicles. So he was a Randy Marsh.
Yeah, he gets
he gets
big testicles so he can get medical weed.
Oh, is that dude? I realized that Towley is behind him.
There is a Towley behind him. That had me laughing. I don't even know if they were part of the same group or not.
I would assume so.
But he had like giant, like inflatable, like the big bouncy balls and like a beige, like pillow bed cover with like little hairs hanging off of it.
Oh my! I didn't even the TegrityCon shirt. That's fucking awesome.
He was telling like he had like little stand-up jokes about like balls too. He was like putting on a show for us.
What a hero!
He was a top tier lad.
Oh, I should show you, Jake. There was somebody cosplaying a Grey Knight at the con. It's in Zenny's fucking album here, if I can get it.
I did finally get a picture of some Helldivers cosplayers.
Nice.
Shout outs. Those were pretty good.
There it is.
Yes.
And he will be at Colossal Con North.
Yeah.
I don't think he's doing the Grey Knight, but I think he is doing another Warhammer cosplay.
Cool.
So I stopped them, but the real reason I stopped them because one of their friends was also kind of cosplaying as the Brosidon. And he had a trident with like the red cups on it and a shirt that just said Brosidon on it. Brosidon.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, well, I guess I can get these really cool cosplayers, but I'm really here for the Brosidon pick.
You guys are fine too, but like, damn, he's got cups on his trident.
Warhammer with giant weapons and huge armor and glow up eyes. And
and he said that this is only version 1 of this cosplay. Like, it's going to be like more mechanized, so he'll be like clanking like through the con center when he moves.
Sweet. It looks good, honestly.
Yeah, that's a real well done, like giant suit of armor. Looks hard to move around in.
And then we have final thoughts. How do we improve the con? Would I go again? The answer is I would go again.
I would absolutely go again. 100%.
This felt like OhioCon with cocaine and hookers. It was a bit more adult oriented. And they have wild bills, and OhioCon doesn't have wild bills. Ooh. They also don't have their staff. Their staff went to go another convention called SYTYCFanon, which I believe is happening in April in Newark that I would like to check out at some point. I guess that some point would be next year, but yeah.
This con also does have the giant like AI-generated face museum piece art thing that like swaps faces.
Yeah, that's in the center. It's been there since like 2017.
I'm so
remember
happy
that thing at all.
It's still there. It's just like in its own little corner out in the middle of nowhere, like by itself. It's terrifying.
I don't remember that thing at all.
I definitely know we've walked past.
I feel like I've memory holed myself from having to remember that thing.
Because I remember
it's kind of nightmare fuel.
Like the Sunday when we were running late to Kai's panel, like we walked through the door. I was like, oh yeah, this is where like I started my sprint down to Kai's room, and then I was like, oh yeah, the fucking cursed ass.
Oh, what was Kai's panel? Before I forget,
Kai was running insect fighting when we went that one year.
Carry on.
Yeah, so I'm glad that weird head thing was there.
But yeah, if you've never been to the GRCC, there's this big like light up, like it's like a an art piece that's like the shape of a human head, and then it's like vid screened,
Yeah,
and then it like
LED.
slowly changes like to different like faces, and it's super cursed.
Is it called As We Are?
As
Art
We
is
Are, I believe, is the name of the art
the
piece.
actual thing of it.
It's scary.
It's fun just to like look at it. It's just like, and it's like always like a different face. It doesn't like recycle the same face. It's like always something different. It looks like a make your own character on The Sims.
Incredible.
What if you can upload your own face to it? That'd be awesome.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure that's how they pull so many faces.
But yeah, I would definitely love to go to this convention again. Apparently, if you do a panel, they'll just like refund you your entire badge.
Apparently, in the back of it is a photo booth you can go into to take your picture.
Oh, I wish I would have known about that.
That's incredible.
Yeah, because it says at the back is a photo booth, 32 digital cameras that can capture your head from any angle.
Cool.
And it will project it in about 3 minutes, too.
Next year, you should do that and then take a picture of your face on the giant head.
Yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Cheers from Columbus.
But yeah, any other closing thoughts from you two? Give it a number rating for no reason. Very arbitrary.
Out of 10?
Yeah. No, out of 7, actually.
Out of 7?
I'd give it...
I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 7.
5 out of 7. How can they improve?
5.5 out of 7. A map that actually has all the parts of the convention on it.
Of course.
I like want to see it like I guess like grow a little bit bigger in a sense. Like I hope more people attend, more vendors.
Got a lot of potential.
More panels. More like actual like fan run panels, because it just felt like they were lacking it a lot of like fan run panels.
Yeah, you guys should work with us and have us run more fan run panels.
Yeah, and I also think that I mean, obviously the place is huge. Easy to add more rooms. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, they also had like stuff we never even got to see. I guess like more is better than not enough activities. Like they had the masquerade. I think they had like an idol performance.
The escape room. We did the escape room and it was fun, but I wish there was another level to it.
Okay, make it a little more. Maybe like they have like a beginner and advanced stages.
Yeah. Or just like an escape room with like multiple rooms. Like once we cleared that first one, we went on to like a harder one.
Yeah. They had water stands. I love a con that has like free water stands, like ice cold water cups.
Oh yeah.
Shout out hydration.
Oh, I also want the Charlie's cheesesteaks place in the food court to not close on Sunday because of woke.
Yeah, the food court was nice. Still need more tables like during the convention, more places to sit. I think that was always kind of an issue a little bit. Had to kind of like fight for a table. But it was a really nice convention center. That too bad it's in downtown Columbus. Columbus sucks. I hated being in downtown Columbus. It's too small.
Yeah.
Too many cars, too many traffic.
I like Columbus, but like sometimes
it's kind of a college town, but there was some nice spots. There was some other concerning spots, the usual.
I feel like Columbus is Ohio's Ann Arbor.
But it's also the capital.
Yeah.
Like the Costco version.
Calling Columbus a college town is so baffling to me.
Is there a college there?
I mean, OSU. Saying it's a college town is like saying like Detroit is a college town because it's got like
Wayne
State. Or is CMU in Detroit? No. There's a Michigan University in Detroit, though, right?
Shout out the Jujutsu Kaisen cosplayers that were dressed as actual Ghostbusters. Probably one of my favorite cosplays from the con.
Oh, that's cool.
And then him and Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls. Got to be one of my favorites.
Shout out to there was a Deadpool carrying around Wolverine's skeleton, and the skeleton in the astronaut suit from Doctor Who.
That was
Yeah,
really cool. I don't know
one.
what it's
That
from,
one
but that was
dope.
awesome. I seen that picture. Shout outs Guy Fieri, just because Flavortown. He's from Columbus, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So just shout outs to Flavortown.
Yeah.
Also to the Tokusatsu cosplayers, I saw somebody cosplaying the Red Die Ranger from Super Sentai, as well as a Kamen Rider build.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and repost those. I posted them earlier.
And then if we, I guess, quickly recap what we did outside of the con the previous days, we went to Otherworld, which is a, I guess, interactive art piece museum type thing, where you walk around and just kind of look at inside these different rooms. They call it Otherworld because it's otherworldly themed, so it's all alien themed stuff.
Yeah, it's got like a storyline and like lore.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
Yeah, it's a whole thing of like scientists are like checking out this other dimension, and they have like there's a room that's like museum exhibits that has little things you can read. There are like audio logs and emails to go through.
A lot more interactive stuff than I thought there was. Like you gotta solve puzzles, push these buttons in a certain order, do these colors, pull these levers, milk the giant cow with the udders and make it happy. And like
it kind of reminded me of like Astroneer, where like in the game Astroneer you have to like unlock like these like monoliths, and you have to like go to the center of the planet and place like a specific like material, and then like you have a thing happen, and that kind of is like what Otherworld's like main puzzle is, where you have to find these rooms, you have to find these symbols, and then you have to take the flashlight on your phone to like light up the symbol on like this big like dais. It almost looks like the inside of like the TARDIS. You just put your phone down on the right thing and it lights up.
Sweet.
It's very cool.
Yeah, I highly recommend, like, if you're in Columbus for any reason. For some reason,
they also
Ohio,
sometimes partner with Matsuricon.
Yeah, they did that last year, but they did not do it this year, which was kind of disappointing. But we still made our own pilgrimage there. Highly recommend Otherworld. That was really fun. My favorite room was like the 1920s cartoon room, where it like made everyone into like that like beige sepia tone. Like and like there was like one random thing that was colored, but the light in the room made it look like it was like black and whitish, like that sepia color. So shout out that rubber hose room, cartoon rubber hose. Then we went to Hawking Hills.
Hawktua Hills might be in the top 3 worst things ever said on this podcast. I know I also made the joke to Sergio when he told me he was going, but that doesn't change the fact that might be the worst thing, one of the worst things ever uttered on this podcast. That's evil. That's truly evil.
I wasn't the first one to say that. I'm blaming you, but I did have that in the back of my head. I just didn't want to say it out loud at first.
So
I'm glad someone took the bullet before me.
The trails were nice. I would have liked to check out more of them. Maybe next time we're down there.
Yeah. But it was really cool. Like a weird section of Ohio that just has these massive cliffs and hills and waterfalls and caves that you can visit and explore. So I definitely recommend Hawktua Hills if you're in the area. It's free. Just pull up in the parking lot. And I guess one last thing, I don't know if you want to start wrapping up this podcast, we have to talk about the worm on the string.
Oh, yeah. So the worm on the string will be our last story before we actually wrap this up. So Mew's got a thing for worm on a string. She loves them. She brings them along with her mechanical pencils and sunscreen and bug spray and headache medicine. She's always got her worm on a string. And Zenny was like, I'm going to tie one of them to the inside of my cart because it'd be funny. But Mew thought it was more than funny. We're talking about laughing for 2 whole hours levels of funny. So we're driving to Hawking Hills, and David is sending us videos of Mew laughing hysterically at the worm like flying in the wind.
Is it like a regular size?
Yeah.
String, like a small one?
It was like a regular sized one. And at some point, David said they lost sight of us.
I got too far ahead.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, I guess it's gone now. And then you just said, I want to see the worm, and started speeding to catch up with us.
I want to see the worm.
It was twerking in the wind, apparently.
We get out to walk on the hill, and Mew is just laughing uncontrollably. You can't talk to her. If you say oh, Mew, it's not that funny, she starts laughing. If you mention the word worm, she bursts out into more laughter, and then it only got worse when we got back to the Airbnb. I thought we were gonna get a noise complaint. She wouldn't stop laughing because she was trying to tell me something worm related, and then she's on the floor and she's laughing, and I'm like, okay, so the worm, right? And then she laughs harder, and I'm like, what about it?
She could never.
Did you have something in mind with it? And then as I'm trying to piece the words that she's choking out, it's just not helping.
It was almost concerning.
No, it felt like those medical stories that I'd read about, where somebody saw a donkey with a fig in its mouth and laughed for 3 hours and had a heart attack. It was it was literally just like that.
The stupid worm on a string.
Incredible.
And then we finally did lose the worm. It must have been heading back from the 12 a.m. Denny's or run, or wherever, Applebee's run.
Yeah, and then you decided to attach it to that fan.
Yeah, I put it to one of our fans, box fans in our
yeah. So we had to deal with her laughing
video
on Sunday, but I think she was tuckered out at that point.
No, always have energy for the worm on the string. So I just laughing because we got back from getting food at the Airbnb, and they just go, "Where's the worm?" And apparently I sounded like JFK from that one animated show, that cartoon.
Clone High.
Clone High.
The worm is finally free.
Moment of silence for the worm.
Oh, yes. Moment of silence for worm on a string. Wouldn't have lost the worm, but then woke happened, so
yeah.
The worm
woke
is no longer
Joe
with us.
Biden took my worm. What else is new?
Shout out Sheets. My first time having a Sheets.
First time?
First time.
Where are you from? I feel like I should know this. Are you from Ohio, or are you?
No, we're from Detroit area.
Okay. That makes sense.
But there is one that literally just opened up a few days ago. Right.
Yeah.
About, sort of, I think about 20 minutes from me. 20 minutes.
See, I grew up in Ohio, northeast Ohio, where Sheets is everywhere. And my family's from PA, which is where Sheets started.
Mega
Sheets has been
Sheets Mecca.
Yeah, it's just where always everywhere I go growing up, there's just gonna be a Sheets nearby. And so moving down here has been so hard for that reason, because I love Sheets. I just don't get to go to Sheets anymore. They got Wawa,
we just got a Sheets at Romulus, Michigan. Just got their first Sheets.
Shout out Alien Romulus.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I love Sheets. It was just a bit where we'd go to Sheets, and it just got really out of hand. So every time we go anywhere in Ohio, we're like, let's get Sheets! Let's go!
It was pretty good.
No, Kai was legitimately suggesting to us a couple weeks ago, guys, what if we just went down to Sheets? And we were like, what? And we're like, yeah, my parents used to drive me 3 hours out to Illinois to buy cheap cigarettes and back. I want to recreate that experience with Sheets.
That's awesome.
And I was like, or we could just wait 2 weeks for it to come to Romulus, so we don't have to drive. I can't wait.
Yeah, when I went, for those who don't know, by those I mean anyone listening and Zenny, I went to Ohio 2 months ago at this point, because my best friend from high school got married. Shouts out. And I'm not kidding, I rented a car, and the first thing I did after I got into the rental car was I drove to Sheets and got food. Because I was hungry, and I knew that it was going to be a while, because I was stopping at my brother's in Columbus. I stopped to get food so my brother didn't have to wait to get dinner.
Better than wedding food.
I was like, well, the wedding was the next
Sheets.
day.
Sheets cater your wedding.
And the wedding, honestly, the Sheets was better than the wedding food. The wedding food was mid. And so I just stopped at Sheets and got like 3 snack wraps and a fry. And I was like, this is what America is about. I missed this.
That's right. Classic road food.
I hope to God, because there's been Wawa is like the Sheets equivalent for Eastern PA. It's like a Philly thing. There's a bunch of Wawa in Florida now. So I'm hoping that they start opening Sheets down here so I can have Sheets again. Like regularly, because Sheets is the GOAT.
Yeah, we did wrap up at least my end of the trip at Waffle House. That was British Dave's first time going to Waffle House.
I've never been to a Waffle House sober, and I've only gone like twice. I'd love to go to a Waffle House because I think the last time I went, I was in probably like freshman year of high school visiting my brother in Bowling Green.
Did they have a sign that said like no fighting in the Waffle House?
Yeah, they did. There were, or at least in the one we went to, there was the house rules, no fights.
Because Waffle House is like the world star capital. Like, yeah, you go to Waffle House to beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, except no flying chairs at ours, so I give it like maybe like a 3 out of 10.
3. How was the food?
A 1 out of 10.
The food was that bad.
Next time I go, I get the waffles from Waffle House, and they're always undercooked.
As one does.
So next time I'm going to try to remember to ask, like, hey, can you make it a little more crispy? And then maybe it might raise it up to like a 2 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Damn, that's brutal. Next time I go to an IHOP, they would blow it out of the water.
Oh shit! Yeah, I think IHOP's a little bit better than Waffle House. Then I believe you guys went to Bass Pro Shops on the way back?
Yeah.
Yes, we did go to Bass Pro Shop because David needed to buy like some fishing lures, but of course it led to you buying a bunch of stuff, including a bunch of shirts that said America Kicks Bass.
Hell yeah.
Which we decided to take a picture with all their guns when we got back to Muse Place.
Mm-hmm.
Which
which
I have to point out how David decides how he thinks that he should hold a gun. So I've got Cade's like G3 battle rifle in my hand, and I'm currently trying to figure out because I was like, why is this thing so heavy? And I was realizing that Cade had handed it to me like loaded, and I was about to ask him about it, and then I noticed David holding Muse pistol by the bottom like a dirty piece of something just two fingers gripping it. Yeah, and we just start laughing really, and we're like, why are you holding it like this? Like, well, I've never held a gun before. I don't know how you're supposed to hold it. I just thought this is proper, and I'm like, dude, just hold it like a gun. Don't point it.
Have you ever played a Call of Duty game baseline any game really with a gun? Just hold it kind of like that and you're good.
Yeah, just it's a pistol. Hold it like a pistol and don't put, because if you're dangling it like that, you're just fucking wiggling the barrel in my general direction.
Okay. Any more questions, or was that the last year?
That's it. Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for letting me join you guys and ruin your podcast.
Honestly, this was one of the more tame episodes.
Okay. That's good to hear. At least on my
got lucky with only 2 of the hosts being here. Because the more hosts that there are, the more insane we get.
Yeah.
So I
have to use my raise hand button in this podcast.
Yeah. You got the tame end of us all being together, because there's only 2 of us. If there were 3, it would have been a different story.
Oh God. Well, I had fun. Yeah, I hope everyone else had fun.
Yes, I did.
This is probably one of my favorite kind of con going experiences, I guess, just because we did so much even outside of the convention.
Yeah, I've been trying to do more stuff outside of the cons for our con trips.
It's hard.
When we went to Hallmat, because we were in Florida, we went to Disney and we went to the Tampa Aquarium, which was underwhelming. to be honest. Next year, not next year. Next time the guys are down, I think we should, because it'll be December. We should hit the zoo, in my opinion.
Oh, that would be cool.
I've heard the Tampa Zoo is like goated, and I know Orlando doesn't have a zoo. At least I'm pretty sure Orlando doesn't have a zoo. So that'll be a good time.
Yeah, I'm certainly done with the summer con season. It has been way too hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm needing some colder weather. The next con we're going to is, I guess, with a bit of an asterisk, because all of us, or a good chunk of us, are going to ColossalCon North. I am currently thinking that I will check out YomaCon this year.
Yeah, just one day for me, Saturday.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I should just submit panels on Saturday, or I should just go to the whole weekend, because I know I'm not going to be doing anything that weekend, and like, it's my home con. It's an hour from my house. I've been going to YomaCon like every year, like since I was like 14. Like, I feel bad not going. I also don't want it to die, because as I was talking to Zenny about, like, Ohio's beating our ass at anime cons.
We can't let Ohio win.
Yeah, our only big one is YomaCon. I don't want it to, like, a lot of people like oh yeah, I want, like, I want YomaCon to get better. I don't want it to fizzle out and die. Like,
trying to avoid Ohio at all costs.
And plus, Yoma usually has like some banger guests I want to go see, so I'll submit some panels. I noticed that their panel submissions have been a little on the lax side. I don't know why people wouldn't want to submit panels to YomaCon. That's crazy. Why haven't you guys hit 100 panel submissions yet?
Must be the reimbursement thing.
I heard the guy that does shout out to all black characters in anime submitted 7 panels to Yoma. So it might be me and him. I might just submit the whole Fanon slate and see if I can get all of them.
Yeah, I talked to someone last year that was hosting. Yeah, I think they said like 7 or 8 of them. It's like, oh my god, I don't even have time for one panel. How do you do 7? That's what you guys do, but
yeah. Oh, I remember the first year we went to ColossalCon Texas. We submitted like
13
panels, and we didn't expect them all to get accepted.
Oh my god!
And then they did, and so we were like, "Well, we're gonna have a great weekend."
Yeah,
because it was it was their first year, and they didn't have a lot of people, and they have a lot of panels, so we just filled in.
Well, you did your duty then.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It was great. I hope that someday, Zenny, we can be at the same convention. I try to continue to go to conventions up there as best I can.
I want to go to Techo in Pittsburgh next year.
Pittsburgh. Interesting. That would be something I would consider. I have family in Pittsburgh, so I could see my grandma.
Yeah, that'll be a new con I want to try. Little bucket list.
Maybe you could pop into ColossalCon for a day.
Yeah.
That requires me going to Ohio again.
ColossalCon's fun though.
Yeah. Maybe I can do it for like a day, stay the night. I think I could do that. Saturday, Sunday.
It's a good time. You could do the water park.
Yeah, I definitely should do that time.
Because the late night swim is a ton of fun. I'm assuming you don't drink. I think you mentioned it earlier, but they have they have an open bar, and it's
it'll kill me.
That's fair. Our friend Matt is similar, where he's pretty sure he can't drink because of like a procedure he had as a young child, but he's never really gotten confirmation and just like doesn't want to risk it.
Yeah.
So he's just like, oh, I guess I won't. Which is fair.
Yeah.
But it's a good time. Nothing more fun than riding around on water slides at like 2 a.m. We met a guy at Texas. I think there's a guy in the room to the left of us. And
is this ketamine guy?
Ketamine guy, yeah. I was trying to get to that. We're to spoil the end, Sergio. But we're like, I'm kind of drunk, and we're riding the slides and stuff. It's me and Michael, Equinox Doodles themselves. And we like run into this guy, and we're like chatting him up, and he's like, "Sorry if I'm acting weird." We're like, "Oh, no worries. You're chill." And he's like, "Yeah, I just did a line of ketamine in our room." And I was like, "Dude, sweet. That's sick. like good for you. That's awesome." I've never done ketamine, but I'm sure it's lovely. And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm like, I'm glad.
Finding him floating face down in the pool later on.
No, he seemed. We saw him the next day, so he seemed to
Okay,
have survived.
He made it.
But I was just like, that's crazy. Like, just dropping into a K hole and getting on a water slide is a crazy thing to do.
Okay.
Well, we'll call it there. Sergio, do you have anything to say to our audience? No K holes.
Yeah, no K holes. Don't stick your arms out if you're falling.
Don't let the woke mob get you.
Yeah, don't let the woke mob get you or prevent you from bringing your dog into the GRCC. More dogs. Cats? I didn't see anybody walking a cat in there.
There was a cat. We did see somebody holding a cat, actually.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. That's it. We're bringing my dogs to Hall Mat. What could go wrong?
Please, this is because we kept having issues with Mew and Cade not remembering where they parked. Mostly Cade.
If you have an Apple phone, you can just ask Siri and she'll just know.
They had me walking around at like 2 a.m. in my heavy ass backpack through this fucking parking structure trying to look through for Cade's car.
Hell yeah, that happened at Colossal 2023 when we were walking out from, I think it was from the late swim. And I had a little to drink, but enough to like that I was good to drive. But someone was like, where did we park? And I just didn't remember. I don't know if I ever told you this. I had no fucking idea. So I was like, I wonder if this will work. And I just pull out my phone. I go, hey Siri, where did I park?
Yeah, I remember this.
Huh.
I had no reason for her. Yeah, thanks Siri. I had no reason
Siri.
for her to or no reason for me to think that that's something that Siri could figure out. But she did, and I was like, they were like, I didn't know phones could do that, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah. He said, dude, where's my car?
I had no idea. It was a complete gamble, but it worked.
Yeah, next time there's like 6 or more people that team up at a con, we're just gonna leash each other together so we don't get lost.
Or at least buddy system it.
Yeah, buddy system.
I try to
we did
buddy
have
system.
the
I think once we have like the combined like might of both the Fanon crew and the Enny gang, what we need to do is like line up in like a straight line and completely block the hallways of the convention center.
Like we're the Secret Service protecting somebody. Like we just.
Yeah, because we did have the ooh-woo call. So if someone was missing, we just shout, ooh-woo, and they would have to shout, oh, whoa, back. So that kind of worked, but it's a work in progress.
Yeah, you'll get there.
And then hopefully in the coming week or two, I will have our Matsuricon vlog uploaded to my channel. I'm working on that right now.
Which is at Hot Zenny.
Yeah, just Hot Zenny with a Y at the end, exclamation point. You'll find me.
Yeah, specifically Hot Zenny, because if you just type in Zenny, there's another YouTuber, a gaming YouTuber named Zenny.
Yeah, don't watch Zenny. He's not funny. His gaming videos suck.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Asshole.
All right, sign us out, Sergio. I'll put some background music on for you.
And with all that, we love you guys.
Much love. Goodbye.
Bye.
Love you guys. I had fun.